just to keep this from dying. Well, no, I've got my cord here. Just if the table's over there, it doesn't reach. So I just needed the extension cord. Well, yeah, I was kind of thinking having the sun behind us, but I don't know how that's going to work out.
It may work better, and you could just put it up against there. They're not going to know the difference.
See how that works to the sun. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Here, turn it around and look at it and see how it is.
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at it as the camera.
Looking at it. Turn it around so that we're facing Goliath.
If you were to plug it in.
If you were to plug it in.
Yeah, that's fine that way.
Turn around.
Wait, I don't.
We'll just put the table up against here, and that way.
Okay. Well, that made no sense for me to come over this way because then I'm back this way. And then this is the view.
Honey.
But that'll be fine.
You gotta fit the table, woman.
We're not going to fit the table. We can put it up against there.
All right, looks like we got one person in. It faded away before I could see who it was. But hello, whoever you are. We're still trying to get set up here a little bit, but we didn't want to be too late. All right, Karen is in. Oh, wow, we got 27 people in now. Yep. Went from 1 to 27.
I can give you this.
Yeah, Connie, we did see what happened at Yellowstone today. That was like kind of crazy, especially since we were just there. Well, I'm trying to get it set to where we can see us all. We got 4 chairs.
Here, we got plenty of cord now.
Okay, let's get this plugged in.
I'll put this down. So
Yeah, you're up pretty close. I just got to make sure we can fit all 4 chairs in that closely.
You should also turn it around so we can see what they're asking.
Well, Mom's going to have the iPad open on the chat so that she can, because this is so small and it fades and disappears. You really can't see it. I just want to make sure that everybody is in frame. All right, so whoever's in the middle chair will be in frame. Whoever's in the last chair is not quite in frame. I don't know if I can't really zoom out on this very well. I may have to just move this further back. Hi, baby, slide that last chair a little bit closer this way. I'm trying to get everybody in.
That looks like the table's about to fall.
You gotta pick that leg up.
There we go. All right, I got Amanda, I got Talon. Everybody is in frame. All right, guys, give Katie a second to get logged in so that she can see comments.
Woohoo!
Now we got 44 people in. We've already got.
Hi, Emery.
We got 8 likes. Everybody, make sure you hit the like button.
Hello, Crispy K.
Major delay.
Major delay. Yeah, I think there always is with a live. Okay, but I think we're all good. Let's get my fat ass in here.
You should widescreen that and put it on the table so we can all see it.
Yeah,
Then
but
I
you can't see the
can't
comments.
read the comments.
You know, you're gonna see it yourself.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome. You know, some of you have been asking us to do more lives, and we decided, you know what, we'll go ahead and do a live. Before we get too far into the discussion about our Yellowstone trip, how's audio sound? How does everything look? How's reception? Somebody give us an answer so that we know what's going
I
on.
think that it's. Just here. Sounds pretty good. So if it sounds okay for everyone else.
Yeah, I don't have a microphone or anything hooked up, so. Because I can't charge the phone and have a microphone at the same
The
time.
Glide Father and Amanda. Hi, Connie.
And Connie, I saw your question a moment ago. Yes, we saw the eruption and I should say explosion. It was more than just an eruption. It was an explosion at Biscuit Basin. And Biscuit Basin was one of the places we did not stop. We drove by it. I think I got it on camera as we went by one time. But we decided to skip that one because there was a certain point where all of these little geyser bases started to kind of look alike. And so we wanted to get around the park and get back home. And that was our really late night getting home. It was what, 9:30 by the time we got back
Very, very long.
to the hotel. So yeah, at that point we just skipped that one and did the lake or the drive around Lake Yellowstone instead. But yeah, there seemed like there was a lot of really good response from all of you on the videos. Mostly, somebody complained about music one time. I think just one person did. But yeah, someone didn't like the music I put in there.
Okay.
But in the same video, like 4 other people said, "Man, the music was great. I love the way you did that." So I didn't, you can't make everybody happy.
Hi, Michael Rain.
Hey, Michael. If you guys remember Michael, he's the one that won the drone giveaway a couple years ago. Alright, if anybody has any questions for any of us individually or about the trip, man, just fire away. Katie will ask the questions as she reads them.
Brandon says kiss, kiss.
Oh, you're Brandon?
Yeah.
I think so.
What's up, B?
He said he was going to say some stuff.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So, all in all, guys, this trip was really cool. I think it was definitely worth going. I mean, Yellowstone's kind of a bucket list thing. None of us had ever been there before, so we really enjoyed it. But I do have to say this, the scenery was absolutely fantastic. But Beartooth, man, took it. Beartooth, I think, was so much more majestic than most of the stuff that we saw in Yellowstone. I think Katie's got a question.
Some of them are saying that they're having a hard time hearing you. Can you bring that?
Well, I can, but then we're not all in frame.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's a way I can zoom out on the camera. Like go more widescreen and then move it closer, maybe.
Murray, we do a lot of travel vlogs as often as we can. We actually have another cruise coming up in December that Adam and I, Cindy and Wes and Amanda are going on to
Anthony said sound is perfect.
Belize, Honduras, and Cancun. On it's called the Sun Princess. It's a brand new ship. So that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll take some video for that for you guys down there.
Yeah, I really can't get it to zoom any different.
Hey, Jeff. Lawless.
What's up, the bearded guy, Jeff Lawless?
Oh, Michael Rain wants to know about laser alignment for the Can-Am.
I don't do the laser alignment. I am going to look into it. There were a couple of people that asked for it. I just do it old school. I think lasers are kind of fancy and neat, but sometimes the old school ways are better. So we just use tape measures and marks on masking tape and measured everything out. And that's just kind of the way we do it, more old school. And I think it works better in most cases, and it's a lot less expensive.
There's 77 people on. Make sure everybody likes.
Yeah, everybody hit the like button. That really helps promote the videos. But anyway, like I was saying, Beartooth Pass was really cool. Look, Tom's gonna laugh at me every time I misspeak here. Remember, I can't edit this out, so I fumble sometimes.
Don't say frustrated.
Frustrated. When you're right next to the mic, I hear you good, Adam, but when you're sitting in the chairs, can't hardly hear you.
Okay, that's weird because the mic should be facing this way.
Bizarre.
Very bizarre. Oh,
Very
let me try this thing. We go this way.
Bring the tripod real quick.
Let me switch the camera around this way.
I try.
All right, is this? I didn't get Talon in there.
Mark W. Yes, we did. We heard about it. It was one of the ones that we actually skipped.
How's the audio now? Is that any better?
Crispy K says, I hear you all fine. Stephen Mims says, much better.
Okay, I just flipped it around so we can see the camera, where before I had the better camera lens facing us for better quality, but oh well.
Gail Holt, yes, we will have love jugs for Indian motorcycles. Installs about 45 minutes to an hour.
We flat rated in 1 hour though. It's $85 for install if you're looking for pricing. But yeah, Yellowstone was cool. There was a lot of diverse things to look at. Some of the hot springs that were like crystal clear water, and some of them were just so deep you couldn't see the bottom. It was almost eerie in a way, but it was very, very beautiful. The canyon area was probably my favorite of the whole park, just those waterfalls. And there was a point where we were past the lower falls looking out into like the deserty side of the canyon. And if you didn't notice, like the upper falls, it was very foresty where the upper falls came through. And then when it gets to the lower falls, the landscape completely changes as it drops into that gorge. And looking out that way, like I guess kind of looking towards the northeast, it almost looked like a painting, or I actually said to Talon, it looks almost like an AI image. The colors, the crispness, it was so amazing. It almost didn't look real, which was pretty cool. But I still think Beartooth Pass was like the cat's meow. It was like really, really awesome.
That was done several times.
We did
That's one of
Beartooth
your
Pass
favorites, right?
Three times. We
Yeah.
did it both directions and then back to Red Lodge.
Yeah, and that was actually really cool.
Yeah, it was fun because we got to do it both ways. So it was almost like it's like two totally different roads going both directions.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part about riding out in the country is sometimes if you're heading east and then turn around and go west, the same road looks totally different. Your perspectives are very different on it. So we did almost every road both directions except for
Some of
like two little
a
sections.
Grand Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
of it we saw in both directions at some point.
And if you guys, oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Butch, for watching. He's from Michigan.
Oh, what's up,
He
Michigan?
loves the channel.
Sorry we didn't make it up there to Michigan. We wanted to, but that breakdown slowed us down. So if you guys like kind of look on the maps of Yellowstone, there are basically two loops, but together they comprise like the grand loops. It almost looks kind of like an 8 on the maps. And we did all of that. The only two roads, main roads anyways, that we did not do was the south entrance and the east entrance roads. But we did the whole loop, the west entrance road, the north entrance road, and the northeast entrance road.
Okay, let's see.
Now guys, throw some questions. If you want to ask Amanda something specific, or Talon, or Katie, anybody.
Somebody want to know if we were going back to Laconia next year. I think it was Jamie O.
As of right now, yes, we are planning on going to Laconia, Jamie. Thanks for stopping by this year, by the way. It was nice meeting you in person for the first time. No, it wasn't the first time, was it? Maybe it was.
We have 97 people watching.
Wow, that's a lot.
We
We're
love
big-
that.
We're big time, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I say that, but I get onto like, you know, Gentry's lives, and there's like 4,000 people in there. It's okay.
I don't think we keep up with all that.
So how many of you guys are actually coming to Sturgis? Hold that for a second. I'll get my water.
Thank you, Butch. We appreciate it. Butch says, we love your channel. Richard White, hello from Harley Davidson Homecoming, Milwaukee. Bill's Trailer Sales. Nice to hear from you again, Richard. Hope the ride went well from Laconia. This last time I saw you. Yeah, John, we missed the explosion today. Of course, we saw it come up on our feeds, and we all shared it with each other. Like, wow, this is just crazy. We were just there.
Yeah.
T-Dog Goliath is running great. I have not addressed that oil leak thing yet, but when we cleaned it off here in Rapid and drove to Deadwood and back, there's no sign of anything there again. So I'm not even sure what was going on. Maybe it was something we rode through. I don't know.
Make sure everybody likes. Smash the button, please.
Security off-roading over here.
Have you tried the new car wash soap they have? No, we did order some, and I was going to do some demos on it while we were in Deadwood, and we just never got around to it.
But we
Get
will.
Some water. We have plenty of. Our bikes are definitely
Yeah.
dirty enough.
All right, riding on 3 said I'll be here Saturday morning. Hopefully that's when we're going to start setting up, is Saturday morning, I hope. Connie says she's not going to get here. She's teacher assistant. Nick says he's definitely going to the Cycle Showcase and seeing you guys. Cool. Where's the Cycle Showcase? I don't even know where that is. Gail says she'll see us on Tuesday. Richard said that Bill's Trailer Sales, the Peterbilt broke down.
Oh no.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that.
Hopefully it's an easy fix.
Steve Boya, yes, we're setting up at Black Hills Harley, but we're not in the main parking lot. Right over here to the right of us, there's another parking lot. It's the same place we've been set up for the last 10, 11 years. But it wasn't owned by Harley before. Harley bought it earlier this year, so now it's technically part of Harley, even though we're not moving, but we're at Harley now.
The vendor lot.
Is it cheaper to order for you or Amsoil directly? It's exactly the same. So the difference is if you order from us or you use our code when you order, we get credit for the sale. Your price is going to be the same if you're just ordering online, like as a retail online customer. But we can also set you up with an account where you can buy it wholesale. and that'll save you about 25% or so. And then of course that goes through one of the dealers, and basically a dealer always gets credit for an Amsoil sale. It's just a matter of which dealer. So if you just randomly order it, they may just assign it to a dealer. If you basically specify that you went through us and use our ZO code, which is on our business cards, it's on our website, then we are guaranteed the credit for that. We get the sale, we get the commission.
And it's really easy to do. Just go onto our website, hit the Amsoil icon, and you pay the $20 a year. You get access to all of the Amsoil wholesale.
Connie says, did you clean off the bird guts? So yeah, Amanda washed her bike,
She's still got feathers.
but she's still finding crap on there.
There are still some hidden treasures on the bike that I keep finding. Most recently, one like stuck to my phone mount on the inside of it. So that was pleasant.
Crispy says he loves the Amsoil Adam t-shirts. He likes the fabric. He's still wearing it a year later.
Awesome.
Bill's truck is in Evansville, Indiana, but we made it to Milwaukee. That's good.
Good.
You know, nice thing with Bill's situation, he could probably always just go rent a tractor if he needed to, and at least he'll get the trailer there. Like with us, if we can't get a Goliath someplace, we're kind of screwed.
Yep.
Hey, Radfink Ron is in. Hey guys, what's up, Ron? What's over can I get set up for 25% off? All right, Butch, so it's called the Preferred Customer Program. You pay $20 a year, but at that point you get the 25% discount off of everything. And it really makes it worth it if you're going to buy oil. Now, if you're going to buy 2 quarts a year, then no, it's not going to be a good deal for you. But if you're at least changing the oil in your Harley once a year, you will save money by paying that $20 with the discount. And if you throw it in your car, your pickup truck, your minivan, your chainsaw, your lawnmower, whatever else it is that you have,
Your gun.
then you get gun oils. If you're going to buy product, you can save a lot of money doing it that way. Connie says she's just glad you didn't get hurt.
I'm very glad.
I think it scared the crap
It was
out
not a
of her.
call that I expect. I'm like, she's riding. Why is she calling?
All right, Nick says Cycle Showcase will be at Steel Pony. I hate to say it, but I don't even know where
what
Steel
that is.
Pony is.
I actually drove by it today, but I
Oh, did
really
you?
wasn't quite sure where
Okay.
it was.
Oh, as I was going to ask you,
I
what
was
city were you
randomly,
in?
I was randomly driving around.
It's been really hot here, and like the next couple days, it's going to be well over 100.
All right, Brandon says, would you rather be stuck on an island with Talon or Amanda? I gotta vote Talon. He can reach taller things.
But you could put Amanda up on your shoulders.
Apparently they get a deal going. If I guarantee you
don't
that
know
Brandon
what's
and
going
Talon are texting, and because I picked Talon, he's got to run around the Goliath or something.
Oh no!
Please just please keep asking questions so Talon
Okay.
has to keep running
Who has
around.
to keep running?
Okay, so see, we add the kids to the show, and yeah, we get
The shenanigans.
I'm guessing 2 more laps and throws up.
Now, I will
Alright.
say one of the funniest things when we were in Yellowstone.
Hello, Richard.
We went. I don't remember where we were at, but it was like towards the end of our trip. Amanda jumps off the bike, runs up, starts filming, and this lady goes, "Did you see that little girl jump off that bike and go running?" I'm like, "Ma'am, that little girl's 42 years old."
Everyone knows.
And she went, "What?"
All right, Butch, either go to our website
was
or take
funny.
one of our business cards. It's my Amsoil / Extreme Bike, something like that. But if you look in the comment or the description of all of our videos, there's a link there. So when this says
I'll
My
put it right
Amsoil,
here.
you click that, follow the steps to become a preferred customer, and then if you use our link, it's automatically going to go and give us the credit. So that's awesome. Thank you, by the way. So Amanda, what was your favorite part of Yellowstone specifically? We already know that Beartooth was the favorite part of the whole trip. Since no one else is asking the questions.
Well, I think where we didn't necessarily go where it was restricted, and we ended up going in the canyon when we went
Oh.
up the little do not enter area,
Yeah.
and we stood out on it was like standing out on this little ledge, and on both sides of you was just vast open canyon.
Yeah.
I think that was probably
So-
inside Yellowstone my favorite space.
So what she's referring to is there's a South Rim Road that brings you on the south side of the canyon. And at the very end of the road, there was a parking area with a viewpoint called Artist Point or something
Artist
like
Point,
that. Yeah. Well, when we parked the bikes, we didn't walk all the way down to the little viewing area. There was a trail that kind of went down the other way. And a couple feet down that trail, you could see there were some trails going up the hill towards the canyon, but there were signs there that clearly said trail closed, do not enter, so on and so forth. And as we got there, there were a couple of kids that had just come down, and their parents were yelling at them for going out there because of the being closed, so to speak. And then Talon and Amanda decided, screw it, they're going up there too.
The kids
And-
made us.
Yeah, the kids enticed us, and then Katie and I just kind of stood down at the bottom. Then all of a sudden, they both looked at us like, guys,
It's worth it.
amazing.
It's worth it. You gotta
see
get
it.
up here.
It's worth breaking the rules for. So, yeah, we climbed up. So we were literally just on the edge of the canyon, and in an area we weren't supposed to be.
Breaking the law,
Yeah.
breaking the law.
But the view was just
It was-
amazing. Really
It was a once in a lifetime type situation. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Elliot. Can you talk about Beartooth and if it was emotional, the views you were seeing on two wheels?
Wait, say that again. I didn't quite understand the question.
Can you talk about Beartooth and if it was emotional at all at the views you were seeing on two wheels?
It's definitely breathtaking.
It
Yeah.
is the most majestic thing out here, but you just, the more west you get, you think, oh, this is really amazing. You see something else, you go, oh my gosh, this is really nice. It's all gorgeous, but I mean, I think that was the favorite for them. I was in the car with the dog, and I was having a good time, in the car.
Yeah, and I don't know how to
But-
define your definition of emotional. I mean, it didn't make me cry or anything, but it was an amazing experience.
It's an awe.
But I'm not an overly emotional person anyways. But what was really cool about Beartooth is even up at the top, I mean, at the very highest elevations that we were at, there's these grassy knolls that go for like hundreds of acres. It's literally like the ground just rose straight up and stayed intact up there. It wasn't the sharp peaks like it is where we live. It's like just a whole section of ground that used to be at ground level just got pushed straight up, and the road went across it, and it was like you were driving through like just some grassy knolls on a lower elevation someplace until you get to an edge and you realize that like you're way the hell up there.
Mike, yes, we got our taco fix before we
Yes,
did our
today's Taco
live.
Tuesday. We went to Que Paso Mexican restaurant, got some tacos.
Talon, what was your favorite spot? Connie wants to know on the trip.
Beartooth.
You liked Beartooth?
Beartooth
Yeah.
was the best by far.
Yeah, I think it's an agreement. Beartooth was amazing.
Yeah, definitely they did not get sick of that. There's a lot of hairpins and twisties and it's just beautiful.
Well,
out there.
that's why when this chickie forgot our pillow and we had to make plans to go back to Red Lodge, we weren't really that
Really
upset. Yeah,
upset about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, we'll have to backtrack. And I'm like, we have to backtrack Beartooth.
yeah.
I know, I'm like, Amanda, I'm gonna have to twist your arm. And she went, oh, ow, 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 okay,
Let's
okay.
go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it took us out of our way to get home. It probably added, another half a day to get home, but we didn't care. We weren't in a hurry, so I say home, Rapid
Penn
City.
State 100, no.
I didn't get that,
Bob says, to make sure and ask me if I like to say pating.
but oh,
It's a Bob thing.
yeah. No Pating Nation here.
No pating nation.
It's the Hawk Tua Nation.
No, don't do that, Talon.
We might have some children watching. We got to be political.
What
There's
did
no
you think
children
about the
watching.
Grand Prismatic Pond?
It was hard to see.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed the viewing angle.
Well,
I wish they had something like higher so you could look down into them.
there is a higher viewing point, but it's like a
You wanna hike.
2-mile walk,
Yeah.
hike.
Yep.
And it's not that we wouldn't have done it, but it was towards the end of the day. And earlier that day, we had already done a 3/4 mile hike down a 600 feet ravine
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
back
gosh.
up. So, and I think that was our long day. We did almost 180 miles that day.
Yeah, 180 miles in the park.
In the park. So we didn't really have another 2-mile walk in us that day.
Yeah.
But you could tell that there was a lot of color to it. It was just really hard to see.
So from our point of view, we were level with it. I mean, I was 6 feet above it. Amanda was 4.5 feet above it. But the angle was like you could see that there were colors, but you didn't
Wow, that
really
seems
get
really
that
good.
whole. You didn't get that whole view. Not like the pictures you see in the postcards. So I was a little disappointed in that. They've got a boardwalk there. It would have been nice if they would have just made something that went up 10 or 12 feet and then like had an upper deck that you could walk over and back down, or a little bridge area, anything that would have given you a better view from there would have been great.
I think it would have been a lot more accessible for especially like even handicapped people
That's true.
that option of going up the 2+ mile hike would probably have not necessarily been feasible.
Okay, a couple more quick questions here. Is the Street King doing okay after the oil cooler issues?
Yeah, everything's fine. What I didn't put on camera is before our trip home, I took some baling wire that Amanda had, and I ran through the oil cooler and tied it back to the frame, and that moved it back like that ½ an inch, and that seemed to be enough that the fender didn't catch it anymore. It's not really a problem with the oil cooler, it's a problem with the fender catching the oil cooler. So it's a combination of the oil cooler being in not the best spot, but that's where they make it for my bike. Also, my fender is pretty low, but the real culprit is that my front suspension is shot. So when I apply brake, I'm getting a lot of compression. The front end's diving really, really bad, and it's getting that fender way too close to it. So fixing my suspension will probably fix the oil cooler problem.
And let's see. Thank you for watching Electric Glide Wayne. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Knives Paracord. Hey folks, hello from Saratoga, New York. Awesome to see you guys live. Hope the weather is good. Just watched the video where the giant bison was walking. That was nerve-wracking.
Wow.
Amanda's facing this way. I'm like, don't move. Please don't turn around and move, because it was like right here next to her.
Yeah, it was a big dude.
It was huge.
Stopped and like looked at me
And she
and
wasn't.
just kept looking at me.
She's like,
we're getting down now.
Yeah, so as we saw them walking up, I looked over at Tom and I said, you know what, I'm going to shut the bike off just so that it doesn't scare them. Because there's been a couple times where there's been one on the side of the road, and as we ride by, I think the noise kind of startles them and makes them jump. And with them being that close, I just didn't want to do anything that could possibly provoke them.
yeah.
Try not to
So when they started getting close, and I realized that we really didn't have any place to go, nothing, not really any alternatives, I just shut the bike off and I pulled the camera out. I figured if it's going to attack me, I want to get it on camera.
we were all videoing that.
But so Talon shut his bike off too, and then I looked in the mirror and I saw Amanda just climb back on her bike, and she was actually off her bike for a moment filming the herd off to the right. And then this really massive one comes by, and he had the horns, the big furry neck thing. I don't even know, it was like a mane almost, but he was a beefy dude. And as he walked up, he just got this majestic walk, and he just kind of like looked over at me and went back, and I'm just like, don't make eye contact, don't make eye contact.
Don't do it.
And like, I didn't want to do anything that might have seemed intimidating to him. And but yeah, I guess they're kind of used to cars being on the road, so as long as you don't do anything to provoke them, they just walk by, it didn't bother anybody.
Yep. Okay, Nick Hildebride, Bridal? I think that's how you pronounce it. Amanda, any upgrades coming on your trike? And Talon, any upgrades coming on your bike?
Yeah, Pap is going to get completely stripped down and redone soon.
I think the only thing right now in the works for May is a really good bath.
They all need baths.
They're all
Bikes are
filthy.
For sure.
Absolutely.
They're so filthy. Let's see. Riding on 3 Tennessee. Okay, the trail is a bit much for sure. I agree with you to get the higher view. The catwalks suck for sure. Okay. Are you going to be, Mike Payne asked, are you going to be set up and open on August 1st?
We intend to be, but I can't guarantee that. We're supposed to set up this Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully be open on Monday, which I believe is the 29th.
Yes.
Yeah. So if things go well, we'll be open by the 29th.
Connie asks, how scary was it coming so close to the buffalo?
It really wasn't scary. I'm saying it wasn't a little bit nervous, because buffalo can be dangerous, but I was pretty confident that as long as we didn't do anything to provoke them, they weren't going to mess with us. So we just kept our cool, and no fast movements, no loud noises, and just let them walk by.
I feel like in Yellowstone, like even when we were at Old Faithful and there was those 2 bison that were sitting there, they seem to be a lot closer than like out here in general. Like more often, no one seems to really care.
Yeah.
And we were at Old Faithful. There were 2 there
Just
that
sitting
were
there.
they were only 20-30 feet away from
Well, the guys was
500
going
people.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I noticed. And until the very last day, the one thing I was noticing is that we didn't see a herd of them.
Well, off in the distance on the day in
A little bit,
Lamar
and then
Valley.
that last day, they were just like onesies and twosies, but
Yeah.
all by themselves, which I thought was odd.
Okay, Mikey Tats asks for each of us your favorite band and favorite pro wrestler.
You want to go first, Talon?
It's for all of us?
Yeah, we each have to answer it.
Can I phone a friend?
Do we have a lifeline?
Favorite band, wrestler, and what?
Favorite band and favorite wrestler.
I like a lot of bands. I don't like any wrestlers though. So, I don't know.
See, I'm not into wrestling either. I mean, so I'd have to say like Hulk Hogan, who hasn't
That's
been
who I was
wrestling.
gonna say.
Like,
Brother.
because when I was a kid,
I
when I was a kid, he had those 24-inch pythons.
Wasn't Sting a wrestler too?
Sting? I
Sting?
don't think so.
Back
Sting
in
was
the
a singer.
day. That was a singer. Okay. I don't
He's
know.
a singer. Yeah. All right, band.
Like, I would say classic rock is a genre. I don't really have a particular band.
I was gonna say it needs to be a more specific question. What favorite band from what genre or generation?
We are all very musically
Musically
diverse,
inclined.
so it's
Yeah.
hard to have
Yeah.
a favorite. I mean, if I had to pick one, I know who I would pick, but it's not really a band. It's a series of bands that he was in. But that would be Glenn Danzig, for me.
Yeah.
As far as like an artist that like I really felt like the music touched me, like I was part of the music type thing. But I mean, Fleetwood Mac would be there too.
Fleetwood
The
Mac's
Cure. I
in
mean,
there.
there's a lot of bands that I really
Moody
like.
Blues. I like the Moody Blues. Let's see. What else? Outside of Sturgis rallies, this is from Nick again. When would be the best time to be out there riding? All summer. People are out here from June until probably what? Beginning of October, as long as there's no snow.
September-ish, I think.
You know,
with their bikes.
September.
It's
Probably
hard to say because we're
September.
not here then, but
Well,
Just for
James last year was saying
Yeah.
that by September, especially the middle of September,
probably cools off.
it's you can be very 50-50 if you want to still be here on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, even in the summer, like today it was what 90 something degrees today in
Yeah.
the sun, but tonight it's probably going to go down into the 60s. So, in the fall time when it's cool during the day, or at least nice during the day, it can get really chilly at night.
Oh, I didn't know that. So there is a wrestler named Sting.
I thought so from like the 80s.
Connie said, yes, there is a wrestler named
See?
Sting.
Showing your age, Amanda.
It's okay, Tyler. She already called me out, so.
We can't have a 12-year-old working for us, damn it.
I couldn't even tell you who's a wrestler nowadays, but
I couldn't either. I have no idea.
There's Logan Paul, but I mean that's just half the battle.
Oh boy.
remember, Randy Savage, and there was the Macho Man
Hi,
or
Gary
something
D.
back in the days.
No idea.
The Undertaker, he was always kind of cool.
Anthony Sheenan says, fire up your T-Max.
Oh, you know
talked
what?
about that.
Just before we went on vacation, I bought the parts to fix it. So maybe Talon and I will mess with that tomorrow.
The car.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
RC car. Today we've been
I
working
give
on.
it 24 to 48 hours if it starts
Yeah, oh yeah,
running
oh yeah.
again.
Every time I get it running, I break it within a couple of.
Whenever he's driving it, it breaks very
24 to
quickly.
48 hours.
Yeah,
And
See-
back to the
We're only
hobby
giving
shop.
the real bike a week.
yeah. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. One thing we've been working on today and filming a video on is that blue bicycle over there. A company called Mach Wheel sent me the electric bike, and we're doing a review on it. It's kind of cool, but we're still on the fence on whether we really like it or not yet. A couple things we can't quite understand on it, so we're still trying to figure it all out.
It's great for an old person that just wants to like a beach cruiser and not go
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, it's not really sporty by any means.
It
but
doesn't do 50 in wheelies, so.
It says it'll do 28, and I'm willing to bet that 28 on a two-wheel bike like that still feels pretty damn fast.
That's cool. So Murray says he loves bison, had a small herd here at my place, and had a large bull that liked to come visit and get petted and would eat out of my hand through the fence.
Awesome.
Are we talking about actual animals here?
Yeah,
Yes.
bison.
Well, you said bull, so I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
a
Yeah,
male
that's what
bison
the-
is still a bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the man version.
Mike Payne says, the reason I ask, I'm going to be out there July 31st. I was going to come over the 1st and get the Love Jug frame mount kit.
Okay.
Okay?
We can do that. I've got some on order. Unfortunately, we're having some shipping issues right now, but hopefully everything will be here by the time we get opened up.
We are hoping to be set up on the 29th, which is this Sunday.
I don't know if it was related to that data breach thing that happened last week, but somehow our shipping computer for Love Jugs is not accessible at the moment. We got locked out of it. We're trying to figure out. So right now, no Love Jugs are shipping to anybody at the moment.
Lance Miley said, thank you for playing my music. We
Oh,
love your music.
You're welcome, Lance. In fact, I'd definitely like some more of it at some point.
Yes.
Especially that bluesy rock kind of stuff. I like
yeah,
that.
we
The
like
stuff
that
that's
a
good
lot.
for the driving scenes. You know?
He'll even play that when we're just driving down the road.
Well, yeah,
he just likes
because it's in my iMusic. So when
Yep.
it's hooked to the stereo on the bike, it just plays.
Okay. Connie says the Von Erichs, Macho Man, British Bulldogs, Undertaker, and a few other wrestlers. So Mitchell, can you put love jugs on that too? On what too? Which bike are you speaking of? Okay, Knives Paracord says, with the music wrestle question being a slight misfire, would each of you say are some of you 2 or 3 favorite movies that you could watch over and over? Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. For me personally, I know Talon's not as into Star Wars as I am, but I've introduced him to him over the years, and he likes them. But I'd say as a family, our favorite movies to watch are the Austin Powers
Austin
series.
Powers, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we just laugh our asses off at that. I was actually pretty surprised. 3-4 years ago, I introduced Talon to Smokey and the Bandit for the first time, thinking that he was going to think it was cheesy and hate it, and he actually really liked it a lot.
It was good for its time, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see what else.
And I know this is going to sound cheesy too, but one of my favorite movies as a kid, and I've watched it as an adult and I don't like it as much, was Kurt Russell in Escape from New York. I just thought the whole concept of turning New York City into a prison was just kind of cool. And I know it's old and cheesy now, but when I was a kid, I just thought that was pretty cool.
Nick wants to know, what are your favorite parts of the rally? And it's a question for everyone.
Anybody want to go first? I don't want to be first on everything.
I think for me it's the people. I really enjoy talking to people and meeting new people from different
She's a talker.
cultures and walks of life. I also really enjoy seeing all the different creativity that people put into their bikes every year. That's kind of like my favorite part of the rally. What's yours? Because this is your second Sturgis, so with us anyway.
Yeah, you've officially completed one
One
the
year?
season now,
Full
so
year, yeah. So,
well, halfway through this rally technically.
I think it's just getting to meet everybody and having the ability to travel.
Yeah.
And just the life, just the whole environment of it. 'Cause I
Now, I assume they mean this rally specific, and for me, as a business owner, it's financial. This and Daytona in the spring are our best rallies where we make our most money, but we also work the hardest at these as well.
We do. We work very hard at these rallies.
But the reason I like this one better than Daytona, even though technically Daytona is a more profitable rally for us, the scenery here. So, I'm sorry, but Daytona's not pretty, and I grew up down the road from Daytona. It was like,
I did.
live in
yeah, she's
Daytona.
still,
She lives there.
I actually
it's
still
same old,
live there, and
and there's no riding in Daytona. You've got the loop, or you got some old country back roads, but it all looks the same. Out here, the scenery is beautiful, and that's why we try to get this couple of weeks out here early so we can enjoy ourselves, because
Challenge.
it's just beautiful riding out here.
What's your favorite part of the rally?
Probably actually just getting to work on the bikes and seeing like the new styles coming out for bikes.
Yeah.
I'd say
We do see a lot of really cool bikes.
we do a lot of really cool shit.
Adam likes Roadhouse too, and I love Sam Elliott. God, I love Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Roadhouse was a good movie.
But have you guys seen the new one?
No.
because
No.
I don't want to ruin the.
It was
Yeah, I don't wanna
terribly
ru-
hilarious.
I don't. It wasn't supposed to be hilarious.
Yeah, that's not
It
a
will
movie that's
ruin the
supposed to
whole-
be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple good one-liners in there, like when Sam Elliott said the place he worked at was really high class. So nice, they had to put a sign above the urinal that says, "Please don't eat the big white men."
It's really good mints.
Yeah.
My cousin Vinny was funny. It was.
It's like the Tide Pods; they're always just yummy.
Tide Pods were delicious.
Let's see. Connie says, glad you saved your creamer from the little critter.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was so funny.
And then I couldn't. I'm like trying, and he just kept wanting to lick me. I'm like, stop interacting with me.
Yeah, we're not supposed to touch the wildlife.
We're not allowed to
I
touch
literally
you.
had to like knock her on the nose, like, no, leave my creamer
I
alone.
looked at Adam. I was like, I'm like, I gotta go away. It's all over. It's like, yeah, she was cute.
Let's see.
But just before that, I was literally sitting there on the motorcycle, trying to upload. No, I wasn't uploading. I was answering comments in the YouTube studio, and she come walking through the parking lot, and she got right in front of the motorcycle, like looked up over at the fairing at me. I'm like, well, hello, beautiful. And she just kind of stared at me for a second, like she wasn't sure whether she wanted to stick around or not. And then she just went right down to grazing, like 2 feet from me, and just hung out for like half an hour.
And then I think her mom was on the other side.
That
of
was the
fence
night
when
before.
we got,
That
when
was
we
the night
came
before.
in.
Yeah.
When I went back to get my coat,
Well, I don't
Mom
know
had
what was
moved
her
over
mom.
to
That
our
was
side.
actually the guy
It
from
was
Home
right
Improvement
there.
that just
Yeah.
peeked over the fence.
That's funny. Let's see, what else? Mitchell says it's pretty cool looking at all sorts of motorcycles with the events that you guys do. It's just pretty cool. Nick likes Roadhouse, Knives Paracord, at Lance Miley Corn Dogs. Okay,
He likes corn dogs?
I guess.
Okay.
So Lance Smiley said corn dogs?
No,
Or I'm
Knives
confused.
Paracord said at Lance Miley Corn Dogs.
Okay.
His name's corn dogs?
Squat Cop 57, always like following the adventures and the rallies. Thanks for showing it from a different perspective as a vendor. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much.
Yes.
We appreciate
Thank
that.
you for watching. I mean, you guys, I know you guys always thank me, but without you guys watching it, none of this means anything. I mean, I wouldn't do it if people weren't watching it. So it's really, thank yourselves.
We did ride. They did ride Chief Joseph Scenic Byway, Highway 296.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Um,
the
he
first
says it's
day.
as good as Beartooth Pass. I don't know that they're going to agree with
It
you
was
on
damn
that.
close.
It was
It was.
beautiful, but
So the first day we went out, we left.
That's
and
where we had to sit out the rain. Was
Yeah.
on that road.
So we did 296, and then we backtracked. That what wasn't really backtracking for us, but the first chunk of good chunk of Beartooth. And I would have to say, all in all, that was probably my favorite day because it was like getting to ride a mini Beartooth and then actually getting to ride Beartooth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was, everything out there was just beautiful.
Let's see.
Now I know why Ted Nugent owns 20,000 acres out there.
Yeah, right.
Right.
John Elliott wants to know favorite restaurant near Sturgis.
Near the actual
Yellowstone.
town of Sturgis.
I'm gonna say Cheyenne Crossing. I know that's
Yeah, it's outside of Spearfish, but that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's
We
a
don't
really good
actually
one.
eat in Sturgis much because we're, 25, 30 miles from Sturgis, and we really don't go into Sturgis very often.
where did we eat last year when Tegan and I
It
took
was
our?
the Knuckle, I think.
That was good.
It was pretty decent.
That was pretty decent.
There's a little place in Wall that I ate last year and the year before. I can't remember the name of it, but it's right across the street from Wall Drug, and they have extremely good beef tips. I apologize, I don't remember the name of it, but it's right across the street from Wall Drug.
Lance Miley goes, I meant I like the corn dogs at the rallies.
Oh. I thought you were making a new song calling it Corn Dog or something. Be the Amsoil Adam theme song.
Hello, 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters. Okay, Blackie Red Hawk says the two I can watch over and over are Roadhouse and Tombstone.
Tombstone
Never
was
get
good.
tired of those. The other one that we really liked was with Sean Connery, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. We
Yeah.
liked that one as
Yeah,
well.
that was pretty cool. I like everything Sean Connery. He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
actors.
he's another one. I really like
All
him.
the way back to the James Bond days.
Yes. Bond, James Bond. Hello, Penny. Thank you for watching us from Canada.
Hey.
Canada. Let's see. Murray asks, how much oil and what brand of filter do you recommend for my 04 Ultra? I'm new to Harleys. Got to see if anyone has a how-to video on doing it. Only done on Hondas before.
All right, so I've got a video that I put up earlier this year on doing a full service. It was a newer model Harley with a Milwaukee 8, but the process is exactly the same. The products are exactly the same. So, I mean, I'm going to recommend the Amsoil 2015, the engine. Your bike will take just about 4 quarts exactly, between 3.5 and 4. But those earlier model, what year did you say it was?
04.
04, yeah. The earlier models take almost the full 4 quarts. And Amsoil makes their own filters, and they are a much higher quality filter. So I always recommend that. The part number would be the 134. If you want it to be chrome, would be the 134C.
Okay. Connie asks, on the cruise, what was your favorite spot?
Which cruise are you referring to?
Are you referring to when we went on our cruise in December, or just when they just cruised around Yellowstone?
Oh, see, when you said cruise, I was thinking our Alaskan cruise last year or the Caribbean cruise last year.
That I wasn't sure.
That's what I was thinking, but I could be wrong.
Wasn't sure.
I don't.
No, that was the one. That's on that access road we didn't go out.
Was that the one that was
River
closed?
Canyon, yeah.
So,
They're not closed, but we just didn't go out that way because we ended up going back through Red Lodge.
okay. Windy River Canyon, we will probably try to get next time because we're planning another trip for next summer, and we're gonna come in from the east side
Yeah,
and go
through
south.
Cody.
Yeah.
I think I want to spend a couple days in Cody because there's a lot to see there. Somebody recommended we go do the Buffalo Bill Museum and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think like how this time we did 2 days
Center
at
of
Red
the West.
Lodge.
Yeah.
This time maybe next year we'll go out there. We'll spend 2 days in Cody because Cody's a pretty big town.
It is.
Explore Cody and then go into.
Ride Beartooth again.
Darn
Yeah,
it.
we could maybe.
Good.
But then go into Yellowstone through the east entrance, because that east entrance road we didn't get to do at all, around Yellowstone Lake, and then back out the south, and that'll
Okay.
complete all of the major roads in Yellowstone. But then we're going to head down to Grand Tetons National Park next year, and then go stay in Jackson, Wyoming, I think. And then we're already thinking the year after that we might do Glacier National Park.
As long as it's not too smoky coming from Canada, because it's really smoky right now.
Who knows?
Okay. C1s says, salute to you all, great ride videos. Nick says, any memorable funny stories of customers or motorcycles? And then hold that thought, Nick.
We have a lot of funny stories.
Thank you for watching, Mitchell. I like Roger Moore too, but I really like Sean Connery.
Roger Moore's my second favorite.
Yep.
Ooh, look at that sun right quick.
Joe Cody, Alpine Inn, it's in Hill City, it's crowded as hell during bike week. They only serve steak, 2 different weights.
Yeah, we've been there. And if you go to Deadwood Flight, that's inside Cadillac Jack's, it's owned by the same people. It's basically the same thing.
And
But
go
they have
and
a broader
see
menu.
go see Katie, the waitress there.
Yeah.
She is awesome. She's very funny. We
Hungarian
like-
lady.
Yeah. Bulgarian. Hungarian?
She was from
Hungary.
Hungary. Hey, I'm gonna show you guys the sunset real quick, just so we're sitting out here. I don't know if you can see all that. Really pretty. Did I get it up there?
Go over the car.
Oh yeah, you kind of see it over there by the trees. It's not showing up as good on camera as it does in real life. Oh, this tripod's falling apart, driving me crazy.
Okay. So any memorable funny stories of customers or motorcycles?
You mean like recently or over the years? We've had some really crazy stuff sometimes.
And Connie asked about Alaska.
Alaska was amazing. I would say my favorite was the port where we had the train ride.
Oh yeah,
That was,
nice. That was a beautiful
Was
day.
that wasn't Ketchikan. The Ketchikan was the last place. It wasn't Juneau. Maybe it was Saskatchewan? No, I don't remember now. But yeah, the train ride up into the mountains was absolutely amazing. And what I've been telling people that I think is so amazing about the mountains there is that, like, where we live at home, our tallest peaks are 6,300, 6,400, something like that, right? But like our home is at 1,800, so you're not really seeing 6,000 feet up. You know, you're seeing like 4,000 feet up. And even out west where we were at some 11,000 peaks. We've been out to Pikes Peak before, which is 14,000, but you're starting at 7,000 or 8,000. When you're in Alaska, you're looking at a 14,000 foot peak from sea level, and it looks amazing. The mountain looks so much bigger because you're seeing it in its entirety, so to speak, or from that ground level or sea level.
Kevin says, I'm guessing doing a live wasn't Talon's idea.
What's wrong with me?
Well, no one's asking him very many questions, so.
Okay. Sporty One says, hi guys, glad to see you live. We had pizza with you in Coos Bay, Oregon last
yep,
year.
I remember
We
you
did.
guys.
We enjoyed that a lot.
Coos Bay.
Coos Bay. Steve says, Windy River Canyon, stay in Thermopolis.
I saw the signs for Thermopolis on the way out. Between
That's all
Cody
in that
and
same
Buffalo,
area.
yeah.
Yep. That corner we didn't get to.
See you next week, Scott. Let's see what else. Hello from Massachusetts. Hi, Ron. Knives Paracord says, how has the drone been holding up since you fixed it? Saw some of the footage, which looks great. Will you be grabbing footage at Sturgis?
Yeah, I plan on it. So far, it's doing good. I didn't use it in the park because there's signs everywhere. This is no drones. And we broke a couple rules, but I was trying not to break all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But flying it in Beartooth did good. And, I even got warnings there because it's such a high elevation that on the screen it said, warning, high elevation, may have trouble maintaining altitude, and it flew just fine. So.
Riding on 3 in Tennessee, I suggest leaving from the East Gate, better views personally. Black Red Hawk says, are you guys going to do the Smoky Mountain Rally in Maryville, Tennessee? Yes, we are.
We're planning on it. I have not signed contracts yet, but they did reach out to me while we're in Deadwood. They said that they did secure the parking lot where they want to put us at, along with a bunch of other vendors. I'm just trying to make the logistics happen. So what we're thinking about doing now is putting together our old road rig, the one we used before we started using Goliath, which was just a pull behind toy hauler. Sending Talon, Amanda, and Chip to Myrtle Beach in that rig so that we can take Goliath to Smoky Mountains. And I think I'm going to ask Mike if maybe Michael can work Smoky Mountain with us, because he lives there in North Carolina with us. It's a little bit shorter trip, but that way we've got help, they've got help. We don't lose our presence at Myrtle. And we're also, you know, people know this crew. I didn't want to just like hire somebody to go work that nobody knew. You know, everybody knows Amanda now. Everybody knows Chip, and people are starting to get to know Talon more. So at least it's still the family there. You know what I mean?
Keeping Jessa.
Yeah, and Jessa will be there then. Jessa's right here, by the way. You guys can't see her, but
You can't see her.
She's laying right next to Talon.
She's lounging.
Chilling out.
Yeah. But Tennessee is only like, Maryville's only 2 hours from us.
Well, it's an hour as the crow flies, but for me to get Goliath there will probably take us 3.5,
Yeah.
because we have to go, or I can't go through Deal's Gap to get there with Goliath. So I have to take the southern route through the gorge, and then back up 411 through Sweetwater and,
and
stuff
then
like that.
75 up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just 411 straight
Just
up.
411?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't have to go all the way to 75.
Okay. Lance says, tell Adam I will work on some rock blues. We
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I want stuff that's kind of like that cool driving trance that's just really good to put on, like the out the windshield of Goliath kind of scenes.
Riding on 3 says, so brush fires again causing smoke. Yes.
It is a little smoky here. I don't smell it, but if you look out off in the distance, especially the other side of the interstate, looking over the side of Rapid, you can definitely see how hazy it is.
Nick asks, all-time memorable customer or motorcycle? One of the ones that comes to mind for me is a guy in Myrtle Beach that he is a disabled veteran, and he actually came to us, and I remember the guys spent like about 3.5, 4 hours or more on the bike, and they did a whole bunch of modifications just so he could continue to ride, and he came back again.
Yes, and we did some more.
Yeah, he had the prosthetic leg.
Yep.
He did.
I wish I could remember his name. I apologize if you're watching. I'm so terrible
but
with names.
I will just tell you, he was
awesome.
so happy that someone actually took the time with him. And then he came back this year because Amanda met him this year, and we did some more stuff for him.
Yep.
And he was so grateful, because there's just, you know, sometimes people just don't give our veterans the time of day, and a lot of them still want to ride even if they do have, you know, their amputees and that kind of thing. And I think it's great that, you know, we were able to help him, you know, so he can continue to enjoy life on his bike.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What about
Oh
for
my.
you guys?
I would have to say he was up there. Now
Yeah.
that you mentioned him. He
Yeah.
was really
Super
cool.
nice guy.
And he was on a trike, so he's just.
Well, yeah, so she's a little partial, 'cause she's like, but anybody that,
The guy with the kill in Daytona.
oh, yeah, the Scottish guy that came up to you, and
Yeah, he might be watching right now.
Yeah.
He was one of the subscribers or viewers, but yeah.
I
stood
I
out.
just saw him from
Yeah.
a glance, but yeah, that was really cool.
Well, he came up aggressively, so Talon thought he was going to hit me or something.
Right.
But you know, you got this guy. If I'm not mistaken, he was pretty well built,
Yeah,
and
He was.
he walked up very swiftly, like he was on a
He
mission.
was coming in hot.
And like, yeah, he looked mean.
was
Then
about
put
to
his,
whoop some
but then he
ass,
put his
is what it
hand
looked like.
out and like shook my hand and told me how much he liked the videos. Of course, with a extremely heavy Irish accent,
Scottish.
Scottish,
Scottish.
whichever.
I know
Um,
we don't always
yeah.
know which.
You know.
And
The
so,
difference,
but
but-
it was just kind of funny. But it was a really cool experience. And this is literally what, the same day or the day before we met the guys from Kuwait and somewhere else up at the gas
Well,
station.
there was also in Daytona, there was a guy who came from New Zealand just to meet you.
No, that was here in Sturgis last year.
That was here,
Here
okay.
in Sturgis last year, the guy came from New Zealand.
It's really cool,
Yeah.
you know. It's really nice to see people.
I mean, they didn't come that far just to see me. They came for a bike week and decided to see me. But
Okay, let's see.
I'm not worth taking a trip from New Zealand. I promise that.
All right, so
Definitely.
Connie says, by you guys doing these awesome videos, you're letting us share your memories. Thank you for that. You are very welcome, Connie. T-Dog says, you guys have an awesome homestead and channel too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope to get more content on that. It's just hard to do when we're on the road, so that's going to come in phases. You know, when we're home, we do stuff there.
And he does have one called White Noise that he's working on. So like everywhere we travel, because we do see such beautiful things, he tries to do, he's collecting videos from everywhere that we travel, but it's like off the beaten path. So like Rough Lock Falls.
Yeah, and like we're not in the videos.
We're
It's
not.
just video of the scenery, video of the waterfalls
Yeah.
and the white noise, and just Some of them, I'm learning camera angles and microphone angles to not get all the other ambient noises in there. So there's a couple of videos up there now that like literally 0 views because I haven't really wanted to tell anybody about it. I wanted to see if it will kind of do things organically, but
On its own, yeah.
if you guys want to check it out, I think the channel is actually called White Noise Central.
Yeah.
I think so. There's only 2 or 3 videos up there. They're not perfect. They're just me playing around still. When we were in the canyon last week, I got longer clips of just the water going over the waterfalls, and I was going to turn them into like a longer segment just for that channel, and I accidentally deleted them all before I thought about it. So,
Oh, good.
oops.
Oops. We'll have to just do more.
Yep, have to go back.
I
Oh,
might
darn
have some I
it.
can send you. Of just waterfalls and stuff.
Well, I was taking specifically long clips of like 30, 40-second long clips of just the water, like in angles where I couldn't hear all the people talking behind me,
Yep.
so that I could then loop it and make a longer video of just the natural noises.
I might have some from under that bridge.
That would be cool.
Well, that
too.
would be nice. Island Pacific Boys, enjoying your vids from Vancouver Island. I'll come by and say hi when I get to Sturgis later.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Uncle Bull, you need either an external mic or get closer, hard to hear.
Everybody else is saying it's fine. Maybe you need a hearing aid. I don't know.
Or
But-
maybe you just need to
Yeah. Well, here's the
Speak
thing.
louder.
If I plug the microphone in, then I have to unplug the power source, which means the battery will die very quickly.
vary, and then we won't be able to do a very
Yeah,
long
I need to
live.
find an adapter where I can do both, and that's why I don't plug a microphone in when I'm in Goliath. The setup just takes too long. I know some people say I need one in Goliath, but you know what? The whole idea of this channel is to be real, and it's truly what we're going through. So when you can't hear me very well when I'm driving Goliath, that's how she feels when I'm talking to her, because she can't hear me very well. That's how I feel when she's talking to me. I
It's very
can't hear
loud.
her very well. It's loud driving Goliath.
Yep.
That's part of the reality of what we do. So part of me doesn't want to use a microphone there, but that's also why I minimize how often I speak while I'm driving.
Mitchell asks, do you guys sell t-shirts or is it just for your crew?
No, we do have the
We
Amsoil
do
Adam
have
shirts,
a few that are left.
limited numbers.
Yeah.
We've got a couple designs in the works for some new ones, but
Yeah.
hate to say it, it's been almost 2 years now since we made these, and we've had a hard time selling them. So the channel just isn't quite really big enough for the merch to take off yet. So
But we're working on it.
And we're
It's-
looking into new apparel. We talked about it today.
We need to occur.
Yeah, we do.
Next level
no,
apparel.
No, Tal and I came up with $1 million idea, but we can't talk about it right now.
We can't talk about it right
Somebody
now.
out there,
Don't tell anybody.
shh, top secret squirrel stuff.
Life Naver, hi John.
Do you need to go?
No, I
Nope.
don't. I'm glad you guys had already left the Yellowstone caldera before the one geyser blew up today. If you had remained another 2 days, it could have been too exciting.
I wish I would have been there to catch that on film. That would have been great YouTube footage, but it is what it is.
Mitchell says super glue is holding the drone together.
It is. It's doing a pretty darn good job so far.
Sporty1 says we'll see you next year for Sturgis.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Chris Butler. Chris from Florida, love your channel. Got to talk to you in Daytona. Any plans on adding AC to Goliath?
You mean like
How's it?
engine-driven
I think
AC?
he needs
We've
the
got 2
front.
AC units in the house,
Driving.
but nothing when we're driving down the road. And my plan is to expand the solar capabilities on it. Right now I've got like 300 watts of solar up there. It's actually like 3 85-watt panels, but they're all 20-something years old. So with that degradation rate, the most we ever see out of is like 280 watts max. So it's not enough to really keep up with the mini split. The rooftop AC in the front uses way too much power, so I want to put another mini split up top. And ideally, if I get it set up right with enough solar, plus the engine charging the batteries while we're driving, I might be able to run an AC in the back at some point. But I got to dump some more money into it first.
Let's see. Blackie Redhawk says Maryville is not all that far for me. I am in Anniston, Alabama.
Okay. Anniston's a nice area. I've been there.
Lance Miley had to disappear, so.
Okay.
Bye,
Later,
Lance.
Lance.
C wants to know how's Amanda's trike since the bird crash? Do she look out for birds now since then? Terrible.
It's more like a bird slaughter.
Yeah,
This was number 4.
this was the 4th bird that I've hit. This was definitely the worst one. The bike is good. It still has its little dent in the front on the cowbell.
Yeah.
But it's kind of its little war wound now. Other than that, it's going good. I just did another 80 miles today, and like 30 of it ended up being down a dirt road. Like I said, I don't really know where I ended up, but she's going good. She just rode 40,000 miles on the way here in Yellowstone, so we're getting there.
Yeah, by the way, our total, I meant to put it in the last video, and I like totally, yeah, like 1,689 miles for the whole trip on the bikes. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, because when you're in the park, you're not really getting miles, and you're on your bike for 8-10 hours, but you're rolling at 25 mile an hour, sometimes 10 mile an hour, sometimes 40 mile an hour, and then you're stopping, you're getting off, you're walking a couple miles, getting back on. So there were a couple days when we did like 50-60 miles,
Yeah.
but we were all day.
I was averaging like 20,000 steps every day. Plus,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were riding like at least a solid 8 hours every day.
Yeah.
They were big days. They were fun though.
Nick says, so I'm coming to Salisbury, North Carolina in September. What roads are a must to ride and a good place to eat that are within 2 to 3 hours of that area?
Oh, I don't even know where Salisbury is exactly. That's
You're going to the wrong area to go ride.
Yeah, if you want to go ride, head up to Murphy.
You need to head more west, because you're actually going into the Piedmont area, and there isn't as much mountainous areas. It's more
I'm sure there's still some nice areas.
it's
I'm
more
just not that familiar with it.
foothills. Let's see, where else am I at? Let me see. Knives Paracord says it's only a kilt if you're Scottish.
Okay, it's a dress for everybody else.
Travis, yes, our
Mini
plan is
skirt.
to go to Laconia again next year.
Yes, we'll definitely be at Laconia next year unless something happens beyond our control.
Ian Murray says, Talon, what is your favorite event?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
My God.
Because obviously the riding's the best out here in Sturgis. But financially, Daytona is the best rally, hands down. So
I know, you said
and it-
Laconia was pretty
that
good.
is kind of around my hometown, so it's kind of nice to be around there at the same time. So
We see a lot of family and friends that we grew up with, and
I don't know, it would have to be a tie between Daytona and Sturgis.
let's see. Lawn Midwest says, thanks for sharing your travels. You gave me some locations to travel to. That's why we do the travel vlogs, so that you guys can see some of the beautiful country that's out here, because we're out here anyway, and we could just share it with you. Uncle Bull, want to say, love the videos, and your drone work was really good. Thanks for everything you share. Thank you, we appreciate that.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Caden says, hey.
Hello.
Hey,
Sarge 946 says, we will see you at the Smoky Mountain Rally.
all right, sounds good.
Yes, and please bring friends. Let them know.
Don't service your bike before you get there. Let
Yeah,
us
don't
do it.
service your bike before you come to the
Yeah.
rally. Let us take care of
Bring
it.
New
Bring
show, we
him
gotta make it
beef
worth it.
jerky.
Yes, he loves his beef jerky.
We'll work for beef jerky.
We'll work for
Yes.
beef jerky. Let's see. Lester says, sounds good to me. Nick says, thank you to all of you for what you do. You allow us to enjoy so much through you. You are very welcome, Nick. Blackie Redhawk, what is that your camera on your bike is picking up when you're riding that looks like a suspended red wire? It's strange looking.
Okay, so the
Oh, the
360 camera has got a front
This
lens
plug-in.
and a rear lens, right?
Okay.
And then the software within the camera stitches the two edges together like with an AI type program. But that's the power cable, because the camera was on the phone for 8-10 hours a day. It wouldn't maintain battery, so I had it plugged into the bike the whole time. In fact, the night before we left, I wired a new USB outlet onto the motorcycle just so I could keep that powered up. And so where it comes out of that stitch line and loops around, you can see it, but when it stitches it, you lose where it goes into the camera, so it looks like the little red thing is just kind of like hanging there in the air. It's kind of weird.
Let's see where we at here.
I tried to keep it out of frame, but sometimes I just couldn't help it.
All right. Steve Bellotti says, you guys broke down from us in New York, but we were not there that week. Old Forge, New York.
Oh, you were in Old Forge that week?
He was.
Oh,
Or that's where he was.
yeah. And
But they weren't there then.
Oh, yeah, and I wanted to ride up there. I was going to ride up that direction the day that my charging system decided to quit working. And had I known then it was just a fuse, I would have anyways. But
Yeah.
I just, the way the day was going, I just didn't even want to look. I could have fixed it in like 10 seconds if I would have actually looked at it. But because everything had been going wrong, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is just a sign that I didn't need to go ride today. So I just parked it.
Mitchell says, I have no problems hearing you. Not yet, anyway. Long Hauler says, hello from Mass. Hello.
What's up, Mass?
C1 says, I came from Wilson, North Carolina to Myrtle Beach to meet you all. You were worth the trip, Adam. It took 2 years to meet you. Just couldn't get there 2 years prior. Wish Challen was there to shake his hand. We appreciate that. Murray says it's pretty loud. Mitchell says Goliath is what, a 1980 1985? That old rig has got a lot of potential. It's a 1987 GMC
Yes, 87.
General.
It's the very last year GMC made a heavy duty over the road truck.
Knives Paracord says for your solar you can look into some Renology flat panels, which are 100 watts each. You could string a number of those together without creating bulk. Worth looking at when you are ready.
Yeah, I found, was it Santan Solar or whatever? I can actually buy like used solar panels at a really, really discounted price, but I got to buy a pallet of them. And I can buy like 400 watt panels for like $100 each, which is the cheapest way to do it. And it would take so many 100 watt panels up there. I think I'm better off doing the 400 watt panels and just doing 2 different strings of like 1200 watts or something. And I'm gonna try to get about 2400 watts worth of solar up there if I can, give or take. And then the solar panels that are on the roof now, I'm gonna move to the trailer for a system I'm planning on building, which you'll see a teaser to that in a video coming up later this week. I've got another battery to test that's going to be a basis for another system I'm gonna build.
Murray says, I think a bird splat t-shirt would be great.
With Amanda's face on it.
Poor little dead head just.
No, you just need a little dead head so when you move it just
Yeah.
is kind of...
The thing is, we got a picture of Amanda with the bird.
Yes.
We could easily put that on a t-shirt.
What if we actually just had like the outline of Amanda's bike and then actually make the head like 3-dimensional that hangs off?
No. I have enough bird PTSD already,
She's still got bird parts coming off the bike.
Well, it's a good thing you don't have to buy the shirt and wear it.
right? Yeah.
Unless I make it part of your job description. I don't know.
True.
Let's see. Lester says it's by Route 95.
What?
Lester, can you elaborate a little bit more? Sorry.
I think you're trying to tell us about something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Nick says more in the Maggie Valley area.
Okay, yeah, Maggie Valley's
But
not that
Maggie
far from
Valley
us.
is really nice. It's not
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
far.
Maggie Valley's only a little over an hour.
Murray says, weird, Mama Badger has been hitting bees and getting stung, and Amanda is hitting birds. So between the two, we're learning about the birds and the bees.
That's one way to look at it.
I think I've learned all I need.
She doesn't want to learn any more about birds. They're foul.
Yeah, they're quite well. I was getting pelted by what was those locust cricket things today.
Oh my
again.
gosh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that sucks. Chris Butler says, yeah, I was referring to the cab AC. Also love the love the Lake Junaluska ride. My mother-in-law has a place in Maggie Valley. Can't wait to ride up there soon. Keep up the great videos. Thank you, Chris.
So yeah, someday I do want to fix the cab AC as well. I have no heat or AC up there. The wiring was kind of a mess, and I've slowly been fixing things. And at some point, after I redo the roof, I'm going to completely remodel the cab area, put new carpet in it, new door panels. I'm going to put like an overhead console for the CB and the stereo and everything. And at that point, I will fix the AC, and I'm going to put sound deadening material in there to quiet it down a little bit.
Are you guys getting the interesting comments over there?
Yeah.
What
The
are
bird
they?
did not taste like chicken. However, about 5 minutes down the road, after we got what we thought was the majority of the actual blood and guts cleaned up off me, the helmet, the bike, it starts to rain, and I close my visor. And when I closed my visor, there was smeared dried blood and actual chunks inside my visor. So now it's raining. I'm on 90 doing like 80 again, and I have chunky blood guts inside my visor, and I can't really do anything about it. So that was fun, but it didn't taste like chicken.
Let's see. Blackie Redhawk says, one of the funniest things that I have seen on your videos happened a few videos ago. One of the daredevils in your group was riding side saddle. That would have been our son Talon.
Yeah, that was Talon. He likes to ride side saddle.
He does.
And I would. I just can't get my leg over the thing. I'm not as flexible as he is.
And he'll go for miles, go through curves, everything else. Just,
I have a really good picture of him. Well, we can put up there.
yeah.
Yeah, I put it in one of the videos. Someone said riding side saddle is not a good idea.
Oh, are you kidding? The two of them were riding like this, like they were riding a
Oh,
bike.
I
As
see.
bicyclists were going by, they get next to them, they'd be like,
you want to live in a padded room your whole life, that's fine.
I prefer to dance on my bike.
She does. She's just as bad. She was doing the Titanic thing. I got a picture of her doing this, going down the road. And I'm like, oh boy, they're getting bored.
Yeah, somebody left a comment once says, Amanda, please do not ever stand up while riding your bike. Like,
I would.
like you stand up 90% of the
I
time.
would
90
only have
time.
like 10,000 miles on my bike if I took away all my stand-up miles.
She's standing. She's
It's the only way she can see
dancing.
with the windscreen.
There's.
It is.
I
Look
was.
through it.
I was literally behind her, and all of a sudden she's like, her legs are up like this. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm stretching. I'm exercising.
Occasionally, you just got to put them up on top of your handlebars.
I would get stuck that way. It would be a bad scene. It'd be funny, but it'd be bad. Okay, where are we at? Mike wants to know, Adam, beer or liquor, favorite drink?
Neither. I don't drink.
Coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee.
coffee.
Coffee is
and
his.
sweet tea.
Is his.
And
Is,
French vanilla creamer.
yes, he
Yeah.
loves his French vanilla creamer.
But yeah, I drink a couple beers a year maybe, and almost never any hard liquor. I just don't like it.
That was a typo. That question was for me, not Adam.
See, and I'll do a Corona when we're in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I'll do a couple of Myrtle Beach sometimes.
When we see bubbles and.
Yeah, I made a joke once last year. Remember, I said, yeah, Myrtle Beach is the only rally I drink at.
Uh-huh.
The 10 days that we're there, I had 2 beers.
Yeah, and then when we're in Galveston, Texas, I go to Hotel Galvez, and then I'll have a sangria there.
See, whoever that was is probably thinking they're gonna buy you something. Boxers and underwear. He needs that more.
Boxes of underwear.
Boxes and underwears.
Oh no, Jesus. Okay, Jim Reynolds says, "Hello, all. Glad you are well. Are all well? Hello, Jim." Murray Helmer says, "I think a bird splat T-shirt would be great."
I think
See
it would
what we
too.
can come up with. Maybe a sticker, if nothing else.
Yeah. C1 says, "I love the mutt shots, guys. I always think
Aw.
about Jixer. I miss her. We miss her a
Look,
lot."
Jess,
So we have Jessa, who was Jixer's best friend. She's now 14. She's a happy pup. She had a good time. Nick says, "At Murray." He starts laughing. Lester says, "Salisbury, North Carolina. I was stationed at Goldsboro." Andrea says, "Hello from Germany. I apologize. From Germany. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you."
Hello from Germany.
Hello from Germany.
One of my
Speaking
favorite
Deutsch.
countries to visit.
Mitchell says, "I have gotten hit by a bug in my chest. Almost knocked me off the bike while riding. Not fun."
I'm so glad the bird hit the bike and not me, because it would have, I don't know if I would have stayed on, but it definitely would have broke whatever part of me it hit.
But you missed the one. Because there was 2.
That one, well, one went literally like by my helmet, and the other
Yep.
one hit the actual bike.
Yeah.
And the turkey vulture that hit the windscreen, I'm kind of glad that didn't hit me either. That it just hit the windscreen.
Blackie says, "As little as she is, she may blow off." She'll get her wings. Let's see. DW says, "New viewer here. You just said Talon is your son. How is Amanda related?"
It's complicated.
Just guilty by association.
I
at this
just
point.
showed up and told them that they had to accept me.
Yeah,
and keep
so-
me and that I wasn't leaving.
Yeah, so last year, just before the Sturgis rally, I made an announcement on the video saying that as we're growing and our business is growing, we needed more sales help. Katie needed help specifically over there in her area. And Amanda and her boyfriend were watching the show, and then they came in the next day and she forced us to hire her.
She goes, "You need to hire me. I can help you do what you need."
We're like, well, we're kind of taking applicants. She's like, no, you're hiring me. It's my job.
I need this
And
job.
I'm like,
I can do this job.
yeah, so now she's here.
Yes.
She's very pushy.
Helen actually made a comment that I can't ever leave, though.
Yeah, she's become family.
Yep. She's
I
not
did.
allowed to leave.
I didn't.
He
I've
did.
been trying to convince her to go.
He sobs every night.
I mean, she stays with us in Goliath. She travels with us in Goliath sometimes. I mean, she's become family.
Which
The
she
two
was.
the two of them even fight like family sometimes.
Oh yeah, she's like a baby sister. But I do. I love her too. I'm like, I don't give a shit how. Sorry. Oops, sorry. I don't care how much we fight. You're not leaving. You're not allowed. Let's see. Who else do we have here? I can't pronounce this, so I apologize. Did you hear that one of the guys in Yellowstone exploded today? Yes, we did.
Yeah. As soon as it came through my news feed, I shared it with everybody.
Biscuit Basin.
Yeah,
Yep.
Biscuit Basin. Some of the names out there are funny.
Funny. There.
And I'm like, oh, we're
Must
not going
be
to
one
Biscuit
deep
today.
biscuit.
Does it come with white gravy?
No.
Chip blamed it on me. He's like, I have a feeling you had something to do with this. I was like, yeah, that mortar finally hit the bottom.
And the only good thing is we legitimately didn't actually stop.
Yeah, we
at
drove
that one.
by
We
it.
only drove by it, so
Because some of them
we
had
do
like,
have plausible deniability.
some of them have like you could just drive and stop on, you know, different ways.
Well, that one had a parking lot and a boardwalk to go, and we just
Yeah.
decided that we'd seen enough geysers that day, and we wanted to get over to Yellowstone.
And I
Lake.
think another area that just popped into my head that I really enjoyed, and I think you will agree with this one, was that ride down when we left from Mammoth into Gardner.
Oh yeah, that road was awesome.
That road,
That
was
road
one
was
of
yeah.
my favorite
Except-
I was
roads.
having fun on
The
that
traffic.
road.
Except it was
The
25
traffic.
mile an hour, but it had the yellow 15 mile an hour on the curves, and people literally did 15 mile an hour.
The cars didn't know how to
They
drive
did
on the
less than
twisties.
15 mile an
Yeah,
hour.
it was awful. Talon and I were talking, and I think it would be really cool because when you leave Gardner, you go up the hill, and then there's the circle in town, and you go back down the hill. Now, the reason there's two-way
Yep.
traffic on that road is because the other road that runs through the valley was normally like the way in, and this road was the way out, I think. Or that could be vice versa, don't quote me. But I think if you look on maps, it shows it's a one-way. And the other road got washed out by a river, so they had to make this two-way. But I think what would be really cool is if they would just shut the road down, like let us do it as a time trial. We could start down at the gate, and the first one to the top, make it around the circle and back down to the gate again in the fastest time, kind of like Isle of Man style time trial, one bike at a time.
It'd be
I
really
think that would be
fun.
freaking awesome.
It'd be great if the whatchamacallits, not antelopes.
Well, yeah, you'd have to keep the pronghorn and
The pronghorns,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
there wasn't. Yeah, you'd have to have a
They would
wildlife
just
spotter.
like pop their heads up.
I know.
Like right on the corners. Like they were just grazing and you couldn't see them in the tall grass. And all of a sudden his head would pop up, but like you were flying by.
And most of the quiet cars, they didn't pay attention, but we come by on the bikes and they're much louder than they put their head up
Heads
and
up,
look at
you're
us. Like, oh, hi there, how you doing?
How you doing?
And then you see all the prairie dogs too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We didn't see a bear. I really wanted to see a
I was
grizzly
hoping a
bear.
bear.
But yeah, we saw plenty of buffalo.
No bears, no wolves.
We saw the elks.
Nope.
We saw pronghorns,
And no moose.
chipmunks.
Meese?
No
No, yeah,
moose.
never saw moose
Not a
either.
single meese.
Nope. No bullwinkles.
No bullwinkle. We ate a bullwinkle.
Yeah, we did eat a bullwinkle.
We did eat a
As
bullwinkle.
close to a moose as we got.
It was
Yeah,
good there.
it was.
You have whatever that drink
the-
was. You like that drink with the. No, it wasn't the bacon jam.
Oh, the bacon jam.
Bacon jam at Beauregards was good. In
The
Redlands.
bacon jam at Beauregards was
It was a huckleberry something or other. You had a drink.
yeah.
Margarita.
Yeah.
You guys had the huckleberry margarita.
Talon was a bad influence and made me have a margarita, but it was huckleberry flavored.
Let's see.
I had huckleberry lemonade. It was good.
Mitchell says, I quit drinking. It's been about 3 years for me. Congratulations. That's a wonderful
Probably feel better, don't you?
thing. Yeah. Like I said, we don't, it's just an occasional thing for us. So,
I drank a lot when I was young. When I got an adult, I was like, you know
I know
what?
by the time I hit 21, I was like, okay.
Well, the thing is,
this
I never
sucks.
liked it. I just did it because everybody else did it, and I wanted to get drunk. But I never liked it. I could
was
never
even too
stand the
sick.
taste of it.
Yeah,
It
it's
just,
Too sick.
Throwing up's no fun.
so when I quit trying to be cool, I was like, you know what? I don't need it.
Nope. Blackie Redhawk says, but Amanda acts like she had rather be twisting wrenches. She changed her own oil.
I did. all
In
three
Deadwood.
holes.
I don't know that she'd rather do it, but she's opening to learning that stuff.
Yeah.
She's not anti learning how to turn wrenches.
I 100% want to know and have a desire to always know how to take care, maintain, and operate my bike. I don't know if it's the career path I want to go is completely in the turning wrenches, but I definitely like to learn, and I don't want anybody else really working on my bike and doing my oil changes. I want to do all those myself now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, where he's like, "What do I do with my hands?" Because they were covered in oil.
Well, that doesn't mean that you can't do these things and still maintain a somewhat clean working environment.
That takes a
Not
lot of
everything
practice.
needs to be covered in grease and oil.
It takes a lot of practice, and you just don't have it yet.
Clearly, you don't either. You're still practicing.
Nick says, what full face or modular helmet would you recommend? I really like the
Yeah, I
shoeys
like
we
the new
just
Shoei.
bought.
Yeah,
She
we
has
just
a
bought-
shoey.
I think for the recommendation I would get is go try some on because not everybody's head is the same shape.
That's
and the
very
same
true.
Size.
Yes.
And
That's very
I
true.
personally wear shoey. Back in the day, I tried on a rye because wanted to be the cool kid, and it didn't fit my head. I still to this day just don't like them because they don't fit on my head. They don't sit on the top of my head correctly. So
I had the same exact experience. A Rye is a very good quality helmet,
they just don't fit.
but
my
it
head.
put too much pressure on my forehead. It was a different shape. It was more for a flat head, and I don't know, just the Rye
Yeah.
wasn't comfortable for me. HJC and Shoei have kind of a similar fit, but the Shoei's a much better quality. and they're more expensive. I mean, my helmet was $800, $899. Katie's was like $799.
$7.99, and then we got
the
the
comm
Cena.
kits for it. Yeah, that wasn't cheap, but it's really, really good
Yeah,
quality.
they're very comfortable. Mine was like falling apart. I'm like, I need a new helmet because it was flaking
Yeah, hers was 5,
off
6 years
padding.
old. And my
And
shoe
then-
birth was like 5 years old, so I gave it to Talon.
So Talon has the shoe birth now.
And Shoeberth is supposed to be a really good brand. I was never as pleased with that helmet as I hoped I would be when I bought it.
And the one thing I can say about the Lisa shoeies, and I think that Arise do it too, I don't know about some of the other brands, is my helmet's a little old, so my cheek pads were getting pretty worn out, and I was able to.
Get that away from you.
That is really big. Sorry.
Yep. She's allergic to bees. So
It's really not
it's
really
like
big.
I don't want to have to go
It's
find
just
her.
really big compared to
Sorry.
me.
EpiPen.
But I was able to get new cheek pads, and they were 2 millimeters bigger than the original ones, so it made my helmet actually fit much better.
You got a straggler there. Bottom of your shoe.
I got some tape on.
Now, I will say for an affordable helmet that's got some really good features, years ago I had a Scorpion EXO series,
Oh,
I
and
think
you
it was.
love that.
Yeah, it had the little pump up thingy so it would squeeze your cheek pads. It had the drop down visor inside. And as far as taking off the clear shield, it just had a twist and it popped off. It was the easiest helmet to work with, and it was like $350 back then, which is like a mid-grade type helmet, and I was always really, really happy with it. But after I got 7, 8 years old, it really started to fall apart on the inside, and that's why I went and bought the Shoeberth.
Okay, C1 says, I almost hit an owl near south of the border in Dillon, South Carolina. Scared the crap out of me. Shake my head.
How do you think the owl felt?
Yeah. Connie says, did you ever see a bear? LOL, you answered that.
Well, no, I've seen a bear.
No, I think she meant
not
when we were out.
Just not in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I've seen them at home, going down like 4 service roads and stuff. I've seen them a couple times.
And when we were here the first time Talon was with us, we actually went to the bear sanctuary.
Bear
here.
Country, USA. That was
And that
cool.
was awesome driving through there. And then
It's like
we went.
100 bears around the car.
Oh yeah. And then we went to the little nursery and they were stealing.
The little babies.
They were
Somebody
taking
dropped their shoe in there,
and
remember?
they right up the tree with the shoe.
Yeah, because the little baby bears are like puppies, basically. Somebody accidentally dropped their shoe or their flip flop in there, and one of them took it and ran. The other ones chased each other and tackled it. And one of the handlers had to come out there and like fight the bears to get the shoe back. It was so funny.
That was so cute.
Yeah, that was 11 years ago.
I know. Mitchell says, welcome to the Adams family, Amanda.
I fit right in.
Oh, you have no idea.
You're actually Wednesday Adams.
Oh,
Let the hair down.
yeah.
All right.
But that makes you Pugsley.
Do that for
my God.
Halloween
Yeah,
when we're in
never mind.
Texas. The first day of Galveston is on Halloween, and she's
We're
still trying to figure out what she's
I
going to
should
dress up
be
as.
for Halloween.
So maybe you guys can give her some suggestions because she's been Harlequin before.
Should
was
we
Harley
all
Quinn
dress
for
up for
Harley Quinn
Halloween?
one time.
I
She
feel
should be
like we
She-Go.
need to have. It's opening day of Galveston, which is the closing rally of the season. We have to dress up.
Be She-Go.
I think Chip should be in
She-Go.
some yoga pants and some
I think we can get Chip to
leg
like.
warmers.
Oh, no, he just cut his hair. He can't be Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
he would be good as a pirate.
Gus could have been before he cut all his dreads
Yeah.
We'll
off.
see
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if we get Chip drunk enough, he'd do the perfect Jack Sparrow walk.
Yeah, probably.
And then we'll get him to dance to Katy Perry.
Shh.
Oh,
He
sorry.
doesn't like Katy Perry.
Oh, he doesn't?
He doesn't like people knowing that he
He likes
Katy
Katy Perry. Big. Okay, C wants to know, Adam, any plans for the struggle bus later?
I have a lot of plans for it, just not the budget to do it, and that's one of the reasons I'm trying to get that other workshop all put together, so that I've got room to actually work on things. But it's big, it doesn't even fit in there very well, and I've got a few projects before that have to get done before I can even think about starting that.
Yeah, we kind of have to unload our daughter's garage so she can finish building her
Yeah.
house. Let's see.
And the sad thing is now, like I said, we got to get that other trailer up and running for Myrtle in the fall. When I get home, I can't even really go work on that shop. I got to get that trailer going. So
Which
it's,
means the Kenworth's got to get going.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like every time I turn around, something keeps getting put in my way, slows me
But
down.
it will get done. It will.
Gonna put it on
Connie
the
says,
procrastination list.
I saw a moose when I was at Rocky Mountain National Forest. No bear, though.
When we did the Bighorn Mountains 2 years ago with Mama S was with us,
Yeah.
we had one walk out in front of us going over. That was really cool. But
Mitchell says, yes, I do feel better, thank you.
good.
And he also asks, what does Love Jugs do for your bike? Does it make it run better?
It does, because it doesn't allow it to overheat. So if the bike isn't overheating, it's running more efficient, you get better fuel economy, smoother idling, and it just doesn't burn the crap out of your legs anymore.
Let's see. SJS says, hey y'all, thought I'd say howdy. SJS and MBSC BFF of Bob and Tam, see you at Fall Rally. Thank you for the videos.
No problem, thank you. I haven't heard from you in a while either, but...
Another, and I can't pronounce this, I apologize, says, a squished bird. Mike Payne says, dress up as the splattered bird.
Oh, Jesus.
C1 says, Adam, if I hit the Powerball, can I have Goliath and I'll buy you a brand new semi and trailer?
Absolutely not.
If you give us all the Powerball winnings.
The thing is, there's no real amount of money in the world, because like, it's a one of a kind. I know that dollar value, it really isn't worth much. It's just a semi-truck, baby. I know that dollar-wise, I don't know what the value is on it, but it's definitely not worth what one of the new ones are. But it's so eclectic, and I like things that are different, and like, they're just plain and simply is not another one of these in existence. It was hand-built by a husband and wife team, and like, there isn't another one. It's irreplaceable to me.
He
And I know
gets
it's
asked all the
I
time.
know it's an old piece of junk, but I love it, and I'll just keep fixing it as long as I can.
Because it's a passion of his. He really enjoys it. John Life Naver says, Moose and Squirrel, Boris and Natasha.
Yeah.
Blackie says, I was watching.
Speaking of which,
the
anybody
Yuppies.
know what college that Bullwinkle went to? What's the matter, you?
Oh, stop it.
Oh my.
Blackie says, I was watching the Abiz video today, and he was walking up the main street in Sturgis, and I saw Chips by sitting in front of one of the local bars.
The dungeon bar.
Was he in the dungeon?
He was in the dungeon bar. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
Yeah.
Laura works at the dungeon
Laura
bar,
works at the
so
dungeon.
he spends a lot of time there with his girlfriend.
And he told
But-
me today he was there.
But tomorrow, or today, he went to St. Ange for Taco Tuesday
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he invited us to go, but we'd already had dinner plans, and we had the live scheduled, so we didn't want to be out in St. Ange because there's no service out there.
Michael says, not going to Sturgis here, but I'll see you all in Galveston.
Sounds good, Michael.
C1 says, I respect that. I knew that would be your answer, Adam. Salute.
Things aren't about money for me. I mean, I run a business, we have to be profitable, but I've never been money driven per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, some things just aren't for sale.
Blackie says, yes, it was the dungeon.
Yep.
The dungeon bar.
That's his home away from home.
All right, where's the
Sturgis.
interesting questions? Make it interesting.
How many people
We have
got in here still?
101
Okay, not bad.
on
not
there.
bad.
Mhm.
100 reasons why. Ask the questions.
What questions do you have for Talon? Because he
No.
wants to be asked questions.
Interesting ones.
Really interesting ones, though.
Did Brandon give up asking weird questions?
Yeah, he said he didn't want to interrupt too much.
I think people would find it amusing.
I think they would too.
The sun's down now. It's starting to cool off. It was pretty hot today.
I can't. Nope.
What was the question?
Are you a swinger, Talon?
Yes. I got my trusted steed right here.
He needs a lot of pushing.
Does Talon still have dirt bikes?
I have one.
No.
Technically one.
Yeah, technically you still have
How many
it.
bikes do you have?
It's at my house, not your house, but
I have a lot.
Isn't that the
name
road
them all?
tax?
it's an
the
ATK. It's got a
ATK.
Rotax engine in it, but yeah, it's an ATK. It's his.
The KLX was technically mine.
He had a KTM, but he got
No,
rid of the
KLX was
KTM.
mine.
You got it for me.
I don't know about that. I bought it because it was a pretty cool pit bike.
I specifically remember you saying happy birthday on my 14th birthday and you gave me the KLX.
Did I?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Because I found it without you surprising me
Oh,
first.
well, see, that's why I didn't get it.
Let's see. New York Harley Rider. Hello from Buffalo, New York. Hello. T-Dog, do you still have that white Chevy truck?
Absolutely do.
He's done a lot of work to it.
Most reliable trucks on the road.
You know-
Minus the diesel.
Before we came on this trip,
Tires are crack.
Talon drove that back up to North Carolina, and he cleaned it up with new headliner in it, fixed the interior.
Dash?
Like, Yeah,
put a bed liner in
Did
it.
a
Spent
lot
a
of
lot of
stuff
money
to it.
getting it clean. 'Cause
and
it was,
we
it was
completely
smoky.
meant to do a video to give you guys an update on it, but we literally, he got there, then we cut down some trees, and then the next day we left.
Yep.
And we just never, we haven't been back since. That was back in June, so.
Yeah.
Connie wants to know what your dream bike is, Talon. When he was young, he loved Honda CBR.
I was gonna say the dream bike has been the CBR 1000RR prior to 07 or 07 and prior, I would say, because then they kind of got ugly as shit.
I like the 08, but.
I don't like the 08. They got too bubbly of a headlight. I don't like them.
Which one? What year?
But now probably the H2R just because
No, but what year?
Yeah, the H2Rs are pretty badass
they're
bikes.
pretty impressive.
When they changed from the bubble backside to the jacked up backside, it just didn't look right. I never liked those. Now, what now? What do you like now?
I don't know, just because I've grown. I like so many different bikes for so many different reasons.
God, you sound like
It-
your
it-
father.
It,
It's
depends
hard.
on the setup.
Yeah,
Look-
what kind of riding am I
Yeah,
doing?
I look at
exactly.
motorcycles as tools. You know, you don't take a hammer when you want to screw something in. So, you know, Harleys are
definitely
great
not.
for the touring, like what we did. A Harley is a great bike for the trip we just did. But Talon and I have even mentioned that we want to go do it again, but maybe being on an enduro bike and do some of the forest surface roads and the gravel and stuff like that. So, and that's one of the reasons I have so many motorcycles, because each one has a different application.
Yeah, I like the Harleys for the comfort, but performance-wise, they're just not there. They're not there.
Okay, Scruffy Santa rides. Can't make it to Sturgis, but we'll see you in Ocean City. For Talon, what is your favorite bike you've had or had?
Again, it depends on the application of the day. You know, like the KTM was really fun to go off-road and doing some trail riding. If I'm looking for speed, obviously the Gixxer's been my favorite one.
Which is the one he got here last year, the one that's yellow and black.
If I'm riding for comfort, I like Pap over here. So
He rides him side saddle. Let's see. Life Naver. So John asks, okay, how many bikes do you own and how many of those bikes run? He didn't specify you or Talon. So, how many do you guys
I'll
have?
let Talon go
between-
first because his list is a little shorter.
it is. All of my bikes run, for one.
Yeah.
So technically, I only have 3 right now.
Well, 3 down in Florida. You've got
I
some
got
up
2 down in
home.
Florida. You can't get the F4i because I gifted it to Brandon. It's not technically mine anymore. So
It was his and he gave it away.
it was mine and I gave it to him, so he had something to ride.
And Brandon's his best friend, if you guys are wondering why he keeps mentioning him.
So technically, it would be the ATK. Sportster's not really mine anymore.
Well, yeah, you gave it back to me.
Yeah,
I gave it
sport-
to you. You gave it back to me.
Yeah, so it's really just 3. I got the 1 dirt bike and the 2 street bikes.
You don't have
The Grom?
the Grom.
No, I don't have the Grom
You have
anymore.
a Grom anymore?
No.
He wants another one.
I want another Grom. Groms are a lot of fun.
He was buying it from Derek and then decided.
Derek
Not-
decided to resell it again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Derek reneged on that one.
Yeah.
And then you have how many?
Okay, so running. We'll start with the running because it's a shorter list. We've got the Harley.
It's a shorter list.
Well, we got this Harley. You say the Street King.
And you can't count moms.
Huh?
You can't count mom's bikes.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Mom's technically got 2, I guess.
So technically, you have 1 running.
He may be right. I've got a lot. I got a lot that are still projects. So
Yeah.
I've got the Road King. All right.
Shady.
That was very
now-
shady.
Dark in here.
Yeah. Very
My new one runs fine that I haven't actually taken possession yet, but I've committed to my best friend Gary to buy his Suzuki V-Strom. We had the conversation a couple of days ago. Actually, it was back when we were stuck in New York. We had a conversation about it, and then he called me,
I know.
I don't know, a week and a half ago when we were in Deadwood, and said he's deciding he's selling his bike. So I'm buying his V-Strom 1000 from him because I wanted an adventure touring bike. And it runs just fine. I just don't actually have possession of it yet. We've got the Sportster, which runs, but it doesn't run right. I think it needs a new ignition system. I've got the BMW, which I haven't used in years. Every time I fix it, something else goes wrong with the electrical problem now, but it's an old 95 R1100 RS. That's probably the bike I've put the most miles on over the years, because when we lived in Florida, well, I should say when I lived in Florida and I moved Katie and the kids to North Carolina, I commuted every single weekend from Florida to North Carolina on that motorcycle. I put, 10 or 11,000 miles on it the first month I had it.
Yep. Because you
And
kept riding it back and forth from Florida to
and
North
it's
Carolina.
got like 149 or 151,000 miles on it now. and I haven't ridden it, but maybe it's probably been 5 years, 6 years since I've even ridden it.
You have a 99 Gixxer 750.
Yeah, I've got the 99 G6R 750. I've got the 2001 G6R 750. Got the 2005 Hayabusa. All of them run. The Hayabusa, I crashed it and started customizing it and just never finished the project. See, there's the 1950 Famous James.
Huh?
There's
The Duke.
yeah, I got the
Duke.
KTM
Duke.
Duke.
You got the Duke.
What's the little one you got when he got the KTM? The
Oh, the XR.
Something.
Oh yeah, the
150.
no, it's a 100.
100.
Yeah, the XR 100 Honda. I've got a little 50cc Suzuki in there. I don't even remember what the model number is. A little two-stroke 50cc Suzuki that basically I was just keeping for one of the grandkids, but then we bought Grayson a KTM last year. So that's just sitting there doing nothing. It probably needs to be gone through.
You got the little
There's a
Yamaha.
PW50 that we've been letting Brooklyn ride. Well, no, I bought that from Brooklyn last year too. See, then we got four-wheelers. We've got the KFX, the Warrior, the Polaris, and the little Raptor 90.
The Ninja 250 is gone.
Yeah, the Ninja 250 is gone. There's that CB1000 back there that technically isn't mine. The customer just never paid me on it. It's been sitting in the back room for 3 years now.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm forgetting a few, I think.
Oh Lord.
There's a couple other little dirt bikes.
What's the question?
Hold on, we'll get to it. Okay.
Of course, Katie's got the Can-Am and she's
And
got
I have
this,
a Bergman 650.
the Bergman that she can't ride, so I don't know if we can really qualify it as hers anymore.
It was bought for
it's
me. I
basically
wrecked on
mine.
it.
I've ridden it the most.
And
Yeah.
he's wrecked on it too.
I
Yeah,
did.
the two of them destroyed it.
I destroyed it really bad.
And our daughter hates riding on it because I don't like the scooter. I don't know how she feels about the Riker, but
But riding
Oh, and-
Suzuki
and Zach has
650,
one
they're a
too.
lot of fun.
I can't
I know you
sit on
can't
it.
sit on my
You
scooter.
can't even sit on the thing.
Okay, let's see. Nick asked, Talon, what do you like to work on motorcycle-wise, and what is your dream build for you? Truck, car, or scoot?
Or scoot.
Motorcycle.
Questions like that are hard for people like him and I because we like
there's
everything.
so
I mean,
many
we like
things.
cars, we like trucks, we like motorcycles.
I want a street truck. I want to do a Tesla street truck build one day. I also just want to do like a twin turbo LS all-wheel drive.
I got to
truck
clarify.
one
He
day.
doesn't want a Tesla Cybertruck. He wants a street truck with a Tesla drivetrain.
I want to
in it,
take
right?
like a Tesla Plaid and put like a single cab, maybe shorten the frame somehow, and put like a single cab Silverado on it. That would just be silent, complete sleeper, and just go out there and smoke people. I think that'd be really cool. But I also want to build like some Baja buggies one day. I like to build go-karts, three-wheelers. There's that can go on for hours about what I want to build.
I want to build a bus to live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've got cars
That's
at home
the
too.
fun
Projects.
area.
I got my Camaro. We got a Monte Carlo that we bought for him when he was
Yeah, I need to
younger.
fit down the
I got the Caprice at home still. The Bronco. We got a lot of
Got a lot of projects.
the International. We got a lot of projects at home. Cars, trucks. We're motorheads. Period. We're not just bikers. We like everything.
Okay. Does Talon, C1 wants to know, does Talon follow Superbike or bagger races?
Neither. I don't follow either.
And neither do I.
It's kind of boring at a certain point. I mean, it's impressive, but
I used to follow
I like to
Subaru.
watch them when
gets,
we're there in
it gets
person.
boring.
Yeah, like if we're, like when we're in Laconia, they have races going on, and they did the bagger races this year, but we were working. And I think one of our friends, Justin, actually was able to go up there and actually,
yeah, he did.
he watched all of it. He goes, this is awesome.
If I'm watching motorsports, it's going to be Supercross or like Monster Jam, something like that.
Yeah.
Supercross. I'd rather watch Supercross.
Yeah, we do the Supercross
Yeah.
every year. Daytona in the spring.
In fact, in Deadwood this year, they had a motocross, and it was so cute because they had kids from like what, four
Yeah, they had a
4
4 to 6 race.
4 to 6 race, and there was this
So
little
cute.
girl named Ava, and she was just a
She
badass.
was so cute.
She's
so
in the
cute.
video. She's cool.
She's in the video. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Talon, favorite YouTube channels from Nick.
Not Amsoil Adam. No, I'm just kidding.
He doesn't watch the channel.
Number one is going to be Sea Boys. If you guys are really into like dirt bike or just people doing just crazy shit off-road or on the street, whatever, those guys do some wild stuff. They actually just last week did the first R1 to water skip on an open lake while pulling somebody behind it skiing. Check that out, it's really cool. Other than that, probably Grindhard Plumbing Co. They do a lot of custom builds themselves. They do a lot of really cool stuff as well. Another guy is Vasily Builds. He's just a small guy. He doesn't have a bigger shop than like what we do or the tools. He just kind of makes it work, and he builds a lot of custom
Builds some
stuff.
cool stuff.
It's not the best quality, but he's getting better. You know, obviously he's a lot better than we are, but really cool channel as well.
So, Life Never 33 says, Town looks like he could rock a Honda Fury.
Not quite his style, but yeah, he could
He
pull it
could.
off.
He could definitely
He'd
pull
look
it
good
off.
on it. I think he'd hate riding it because they don't handle with it.
Mitchell wants to know, is Spiders a good bike for the trip that you guys are doing now? I was in the car. I don't know that I could have handled it on my bike.
If you're a Spider rider, then it would be a great bike for that trip. I mean, I would have been miserable on one, but I don't like driving the three-wheelers.
I think that the RTs would have been probably more comfortable than like the Riker.
Yeah.
I have an updated seat, but I don't know.
I think for you in the park and doing Yellowstone, that you would have been fine on. Like the
Right.
days we were in the park and riding around, I think she would have been fine. It was enough on and off. But the days getting there and the days getting back, and
Much longer days.
yeah, and to your whatever, like your bike isn't really set up to be a long distance riding
No,
bike.
it's not. I would
Like,
have to
my
have
trike
trailed
is
it there.
Really, what I've done to it is set it up to live off it and ride it long distance and be on it for 5, 6, 7 days for 10 plus hours a day every day. Like,
And they
your
could get
bike
away
is
with
just
that
really
too.
not set up
Mine's
that
not
way.
set up for that. If you have an RT, I'm sure there was quite a few Can-Ams
Yeah.
that were out there. I didn't see any Rikers up there. I
didn't
saw a
see a
couple of
lot of them,
RTs
yeah.
and F3s, but no Rikers were out there.
So basically, whatever bike you're the most comfortable on is the right bike. To
Would
do
be the
trip
right
on.
one to do the trip on. Okay. Okay. FF2Con. Amanda, who's more handsome, Adam or Talon?
I would never ever pick.
It's clearly me.
Tony Moreno.
It's clearly him.
Reno. Stop. Are you coming back to Laconia next year looking to get some love jugs on my victory? Is there a rally that is not worth the trip?
Ooh. They all have
Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Well, we don't do it anymore because it's not worth the trip.
There you go.
No, I hate to say it. The only one we do now that isn't worth the trip is Deadwood. But it gets us out here early, which makes it worth coming out early for it.
And
But
it's
it by
fun.
itself.
I know you
No, I
would.
love the
It's
rally
just
too.
Such a great. It's so different.
But
It is.
if
This
you
is the
took-
first time she did it, and I'm like, I love this rally. I know it's not, balls to the wall, and there's lots of people and stuff like that, but it's just, it's a relaxed rally. We can ride, and we just have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's just, we
But
have.
if you took Sturgis out of the equation, we could
We
never
couldn't
come
do
out
it.
here
Yeah,
to do that rally.
if it wasn't for Sturgis, we probably wouldn't come out just for that rally. But we do enjoy that rally. We've met a lot of great people. It's just a really fun time. They have rides and stuff.
And truth
for
is,
people.
this year our sales were up a little bit, but not enough to compensate for the extra staffing. So we had 2 more people, 2 more salaries than we had last year. And it, like I said, we actually lost money on that rally, I think.
Yeah. But it is welcome to
And they gave us
all
free rent this
riders.
year.
And they gave us free rent this year because it was
Yeah.
their 10-year anniversary. Scruffy Santa Rides, what was each of your first motorcycle? My first one was the Suzuki Bergman 650.
A
Guess
94 Bandit 400.
I guess technically it was the Bergman for me.
Well, it wasn't really yours. You were just riding
It
Mom's.
wasn't mine, but that's what I grew up. I learned to ride on.
Yeah.
Really.
So what was your first bike that you had? No,
Would have been the Gixxer, right?
would have been the Gixxer, right?
It was,
No, no,
it
the
was the
KTM.
KTM.
The
technically.
KTM.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And yours was that GS
So
something?
I always say my first bike was the Ninja 250. It was an 87 EX 250, but it technically wasn't mine. It was my friend David's. He let me borrow it. And actually it was because he needed to borrow my truck to move something. So he gave me his bike and I ended up having it for like 31 days or something.
Yep.
Because he was loving having the truck because all he had for transportation was that Ninja 250.
Yep.
And I was loving having the bike. So we just like semi-permanently traded for a while. And then we would just trade back and forth after that for a long time. So I considered that my first bike because it seemed like it was mine. I mean, I crashed it 3 times. I fixed it, crashed it again, fixed it. I mean, but My first bike that I actually purchased and bought for me was a 1982 Suzuki GS550 MZ.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the guy screwed me, never gave me a title for it. I rode it around with temp tags on it until the temp tags expired, and that was it. I only rode it for a couple of months.
Yep. Connie asked, have you ever raced go-karts or dirt bikes? Go-karts, yes.
Not professionally.
Not professionally, just for fun.
I used to bracket race my 600s.
Yeah. And I used to street race my car. Allegedly. Street racing is illegal. I cannot
All
confirm
for
nor
informational purposes.
deny. Yeah.
Did a couple of done track
Allegedly,
days on
there
my
was some
sport
street
bike.
racing.
Sports
I've
bike
done
track
some-
days, and then
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've done a lot of testing tune days and like that, but never actually competed in racing.
So SJS asks, can you fix my navigator?
Probably not.
Murray says, JR50 Suzuki.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is, little JR50.
Murray also says, I worked
It's
in
like
the
this big.
in the bike business for 30 years, so you become a collector. I have about 25 or so. Haha. By the way, I love the Bergman 650. Fun to outrun real bikes on the highway. That's what my Riker does. It really kind of ticks off some of the Harleys.
But yeah, being in this industry, the reason I have so many is I've just been lucky enough to come across some really good deals at times. Like that KTM, I paid $500 for it because the guy was desperate to sell it because they had to move out of Florida, and it was broken. He didn't know what was wrong with it. He couldn't afford to even pay me to look at it. So he offered me to buy it for $500, and I did. And then I put some time into it and fixed it. I've had bikes that were just like abandoned with me that I've ended up having to retitle to myself. I've had people that knew they couldn't pay their bills, so they just come in and hand me a title to a bike. And we just made a really good opportunity sometimes to buy. So that the little, remember the little KFX four-wheeler or KFX 50 four-wheeler I bought from Michaela?
Yeah.
I paid $50 for that thing.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. Gary says, my first bike that I bought was a KZ 650.
Awesome, good bike. I like the Kawasaki's.
We have 108 people watching.
Now, I mean, I know now you guys see we're pretty much working on all Harleys and everything, but when I first got into the industry, I wasn't really into Harleys. All I worked on was the inline four-cylinder metrics and the V4 Hondas and stuff. You know, the old GS series, the CB series. I had a reputation in Orlando because I was one of the only guys that would still work on that stuff, especially when it came to carburetors. When everything kind of transitioned to fuel injection in the late 90s, everybody forgot how carburetors worked for some reason, except for me, because that's all I had experience with. I didn't know how to work with the fuel injection at first. So we built kind of a reputation of being that guy, and then it kind of got into doing sport bikes and race prep on road race bikes and stuff, and that's just kind of, and then we phased. And doing the rallies, we got mostly into doing Harleys, and I hate to say it, but that's where the money is.
Yep. Nick says, my first scoot was a 1984 Honda V65 1100.
Magnum, V65 Magnum.
Okay.
Awesome bikes, lots of power, V4 configuration.
And then DK Letto, is it Letto? Sorry if I'm butchering the name. First bike was a Yamaha VMAX.
VMAXs are really cool bikes.
Calypso Notch asks, are you all selling batteries at Sturgis? I think mine is on its way out.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I got to order some, like tomorrow.
Just like got dark all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, well, the sun's down behind the house.
Yeah,
Well,
shows
it's
now,
10
so.
to 9, yeah.
So yes, we will have batteries at Sturgis. And lots of Wild Willies if you guys want to scent your
Yeah,
fuel.
she overbought
New
Wild Wheels,
scent.
and
I
she-
did not overbuy.
We have some
I
new
bought
scents.
new scents. Let's see. Connie asks, thank you for being you and keeping those videos coming. Have a good night. Good night, Connie.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you for visiting with us. Chris BK says, great live and great talking with you all. Time for me to go. Have a great rally. Hoping to go next year. Yes, definitely come out.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll
Thank
probably
you.
start settling down here in a minute too, because it's going to get really dark out here in a few minutes. So we won't be able to
And
see
you
each
guys
other.
aren't going to be able to see us and the bugs.
mosquitoes will carry us away.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're big out here this year. They've been overfed.
I'm not very, there's not a lot of me.
Nick asks, do you ship batteries?
So we can. I've got a couple on my website, but if I don't have the size on the website, you can always go directly to the Banshee Battery website and order directly from them as well.
Is it big time battery?
It's just big,
Big time battery.
Big time
no, battery jack.
Or battery
Battery
jack.
jack, yeah. I always get them confused, but yeah. But if
Yeah,
you Google
big time,
Banshee
so we have to
batteries,
look
it'll
it
take you there.
Yep. So what other questions do you guys have for us?
Closing question?
I know that after this, I think we're going to be heading home for a little while because
Yeah, I gotta
our
go home.
grandchildren really want us at home right now. They miss
And
us.
I gotta go work on the trailer.
And he's got to work on the trailer, he's got to get some stuff moved around for the shop. And then we go to Ocean City. And then we come home and go to Tennessee while you guys go to Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Yep.
And then Daytona, Panama, and Galveston. Hi, Jessa.
Just didn't want to stay inside.
SJS says, where can I get a motor? For what specifically?
If you're talking about Harley stuff, you can buy crate motors through Harley Davidson. You can buy them through Drag Specialties. S&S, stuff like that. Rev Tech, I think, is another one. There's all kinds of different options there.
Scruffy Santa Ride says, thanks for sharing all the videos, trips, and keeping it real. We're definitely all about that.
Yeah. I know we don't do a lot of gimmicky stuff. We just gotta keep it real. We get a little silly sometimes, but not really gimmicky.
Nick asks, what is something you still have on your bucket list?
A lot.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? It's very long.
Yeah, we still haven't been to Hawaii. We still got Glacier Park. We got Teton Park. Yosemite Park. There's so many places.
Hopefully, if he could just live to 200, he might get
Yeah,
most of his bucket list done.
There's still a lot of this country we haven't seen. And when we're done with this country, we want to see other countries.
Yep.
That may have to be retirement days, but I want to ride my bike in other countries, or a bike. Even if I can fly over there and rent a bike or something. I want to ride through Thailand and stuff. I mean,
She went in the trailer.
it's fun.
Did you?
Yep.
Years ago, when we used to host the bike nights at the Steak and Shakes down in Orlando,
He meant the Navigator for the motor. He was trying to find a Navigator motor.
Yeah, I don't know, just not my field. So, but I'd imagine Jasper or some kind of rebuild service. I don't know. But anyway, what was I saying? Brain fart.
Sorry.
Traveling, renting a bike, something.
Oh,
In
yeah.
like Thailand or another country.
One of the guys used to hang out with us in the Steak and Shake bike nights. He used to go over to Thailand every year, and he'd rent a little 400cc Honda or something like that. He'd ride it around there for like a month and a half. It was really cheap to do. I think he paid $400 for the month rental. He had a friend that lived there, so he would just leave a helmet and riding gear there all year round. And he wouldn't even pack a bag. He would just fly over, and when he got off of the plane, he would buy like a bundle of shirts for $20, and then when he was done, there were more shirts than he could wear in the month.
So you would donate them
So
back.
for $20, he would just wear them and then give them to somebody afterwards. But anyway, he would show me these videos of him going up these gravel mountain roads or cliffs on the side, and all of a sudden you come up to this pool and there's literally elephants just they're bathing themselves in the water and everything. It just looks amazing. And someday I'd love to do something like that.
Michelle asks, hold on, where was it? What is Talon's favorite part of traveling on the road? And same for my sweetie pie tough girl, Amanda.
Go first.
Probably just the freedom of being able to ride a lot more often. It's better than having a regular 9-to-5 job, for sure.
Yeah.
Get a lot more free time, more downtime, more riding.
I've been very fortunate. My career before this allowed me to travel internationally, and now this one's the job I got, so I can travel around the United States for the next foreseeable future. But for me, it's literally the travel. I hate being in one spot. You can ask them. Even we've been here back a day and a half, and I'm literally
She was out
leaving
running around.
in the morning. I rode 180 miles a day. I'm leaving in the morning to go to Colorado to drive in the mountains for 3-4 days before we come back and set up. All I want to do is be on my bike and riding it every day.
And I'd go with her. It's just I've got all these logistics to deal with, getting the tent set up and getting all the products delivered, that I can't do it from the seat of my motorcycle.
And thank you, Michelle, for the belated birthday. Mitchell says, it's 5 minutes before 11 o'clock here. Yeah, I know. We're 2 hours behind the East Coast. T-Dog says, love the lives. I think the last was Xmas. Correct? Have a good night, guys. Hope you guys have a great rally. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I think it was Christmas last time we did a live.
We've been meaning to do lives, but just
You know, we
things
even
come
said we
up.
need to do at least one a month.
One a
At
month,
least one
and
a month,
just
we don't do
sometimes
it.
things just come up that's just beyond our control. Like, you know, when we were in Myrtle Beach, you know, we got hit with tornadoes, so it's like we had to go home and take care of stuff, and not one but two, but you know, we just, you know, life sometimes happens, you know.
Happens a lot for us.
It does.
We have a
Penn
lot of
State
life.
100. Pating to you, sir. Or ma'am. Mitchell says, how many times have you guys done a live video? This is the first one I've seen. I've only been watching you guys for like a month and a half, 2 months at the most.
Well, this is definitely the first one in that time period. Like we just said, last one was like Christmas. We only do a couple a year typically. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to do more, and we're going to try to do more.
Got a couple of things we're gonna try to do.
Yeah.
Coming up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about different things, different strategies to kind of like take the YouTube channel to another level without compromising what the channel is all about. Like I said, I don't want to just do gimmicky stuff, but I want it to be natural to what we're doing, but also a way to add more content and feature more of the people. A lot of you show a lot of interest in like what Talon's doing, what Amanda's doing. Some of you asked questions about Chip. So I want to try to incorporate the whole team into the channel a little bit more, because I think it's what you guys want.
What things do you guys want to see? Let us know. I mean, you can put it in the comments on any of the, you know, not just on the live, but, you know, if there's something you guys want to see, then, you know, put it in the comments on any of Adam's videos.
And I'm not promising you're going to get it, because...
But he can try,
Yeah.
you know, if he knows that there's an interest, you know.
But, you know, it's just like, I'm not going to cater the channel to, you know, one person said, hey, you should do this, because, like, what some people like, other people hate, there's no way to make everybody happy. So I'm pretty committed to just keeping the channel as real as we can, and it being about what it's about. And if people like it, great. And if people don't like it, then I totally understand. For instance, one of the videos last week, somebody complained about the music. They said you shouldn't take them, or I think they said something like, if I know you're going to put the music in the videos, I'll just skip that video. And in my mind, I'm like, well, it's fine. You know, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
But at the same video, I had 3 other comments saying, hey, man, that was awesome the way you put the music in there. And I'm really picky about music, and I don't do it all the time. And sometimes I want to put music in, but I can't find the right song for the moment, and I don't do it. So but either way, I'm going to keep it true to what I feel is the right thing to do. And if people don't like it, they don't have to watch it. And if people do like it, they will. And we keep growing, so I think there's more people that do like it than don't.
But again, like Amanda said, you could always mute it so you don't hear the music.
Yeah, well, they wanted to hear the motorcycles. But the problem is
You hear a lot of the
wind
too.
noise
The
sometimes.
wind noise, a lot of people get really upset about
And-
that, because then they can't even hear the
I
bike
can't
or the
stand
music.
it. I can't stand it. But I don't know if you guys could tell, but there were times where I was switching between 2 different cameras in a lot of the videos this last week. I had the 360 camera and my iPhone. The 360 camera does a much better job at eliminating the wind noise. It's still there, but it's not like that hurts you in your eardrum raspiness
Yes.
that the iPhone gets. So it's kind of a like a dance between the two to get it right. So a lot of times I'll lower the audio track from the video, and then I'll add a music track so that like you can still hear the wind, but it's not that in your
Intense.
ear, annoying, and you can still hear the motorcycle. But it even drives me crazy. I hate the way my motorcycle sounds when recorded with the iPhone, because it picks up my little exhaust leak that just started a couple weeks ago. It picks up the ting of the valves and the lifters, where the 360 camera doesn't pick it up as much. Like it's a different sound completely, and I'm still playing with that, but trying to keep it as real as we can. But in a nutshell, I won't cater the channel to what other people want necessarily. I'm going to keep it true to what it is, and hopefully people like it.
Nick is love the live. Thanks for taking time out of your extremely busy schedules, and he's on his way out.
All right.
Sherry
Later.
Rickman says, really enjoy watching lives and videos. You all enjoy life. Thank you, Sherry. Richard Honeywell says, love the live. Good night, Adam, Katie, Talon, Amanda, and Jessa.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Dawn Braddock says, safe and not injured.
Hello, Dawn. Dawn's
Yep,
here.
Dawn's here. FF2Con says, how much bigger are the mosquitoes there compared to Florida?
They can be sizable.
They can be
It's-
pretty big.
They're sizably bigger, and they're
Definitely
definitely more
obnoxious.
aggressive out here.
They are.
Yeah.
They are very obnoxious.
I feel like they definitely are aggressive out here, and they leave a bigger mark.
They do.
And,
They
and I hate
do.
to say it, but in Yellowstone, they were even bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Yep.
And you have to electrocute the flies. You can't just hit them. They just look at you and laugh and fly away.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They'll stay on you. You can't blow them off. You can't shake them off. They just sit there and
They
just.
get the fly like
We're
zap
getting to the
with
point
it.
where people can't hardly see
Yeah.
us.
Mitchell says,
That's how we do
"Yep,
the porch
start to have a hard time seeing you guys. It's getting dark." Steve Bellotti says, "Good night, guys. Love the videos. Be safe. Old Forge, New York."
It helped a little bit, but not much.
Lonely
Sorry, we'll close
Hitchhiker Kent says, "You do you. It's all good." Diva says, "You guys ever plan to Cave Creek Bike Week in Arizona?" Been there, done that.
it. Yeah, we used to do it. Didn't do very well. It's a really long drive to not make any money.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time. SJS says, "Love ma pating to the flag."
Yeah.
So there's still 79 people
Yeah.
on here. Are you gonna wrap up or?
Yeah, no, I think we are going to wrap it up because it's getting dark. Like I said, lighting
It's
is
really. I mean,
is terrible.
actually, you can see us a little better now.
yeah, a little bit better, but
But the because we have the lights on now, the mosquitoes and the moths are going to
Yep.
be inundating us.
and it's been what, 2 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about.
has it? Yeah.
So
So this
I
was a
think
good.
2 hours is long enough. So
It's a
unless
good
anybody
live.
else has got any important questions, we will just bid you all a good night. And
Hope to see you, a lot of you guys, through the rest of the season.
Yep. And I'm probably taking a couple days off from the daily
Love you,
vlogs.
Michelle.
We've got the video on this bike that we're doing. We started today. We'll probably finish up that video tomorrow.
Good night,
I've also
Sherry.
got another battery video coming out pretty soon that I got to start on. I charged it all up today, and then hopefully by a setup day, I'll have all that done so that we can just focus on the Sturgis rally.
Good night, Scruffy Santa Rides. Mitchell says, "Just keep doing you. I love watching your guys' show. I like listening to your music. You don't do it all the time either."
Yeah.
Tim Phillips says, "See you at the rally." Tim from Yankton. Reggie Williams says, "Good night."
Yeah, Tim's coming to get love jokes. He's the one that I think was going to meet us out at Deadwood, but he got there after we packed up.
Packed
And
up.
I,
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
picking
yeah,
up the
yeah.
rental
Oh,
car
yeah,
when he
yeah,
called
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I remember. There's still 80 people on.
Yep. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night,
Good night,
guys.
guys. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you so
out.
much
Later.
for coming out. SJS says it looks like a nice campfire. It does.
Ooh, speaking of, we should make more s'mores.
Ah.
Look, the video kind of
We
looks
should
like
make more s'mores.